All right, welcome to D&D Stealing Dragons, session 18, The Keys to a Heist. You guys all set?
Yeah, and
Good to go.
it said don't use if I'm allergic to adhesive, and I was about to put it on my face tonight, and I'm way allergic to adhesive. And when I was reading the instructions, it said that, and I'm like, oh, that would have been bad if I just slapped him on my face.
So bad. Oh no.
Adding a note real quick. Give me 1 second.
You gonna kill Talia with adhesive?
And I was all like, crap, did I give away my weird allergies?
Talia's not allergic to adhesive. She's allergic to those 6 rings that hold cans. No, you're not supposed to.
Wow.
Before you throw in the ocean.
Wow.
Wow.
She could get stuck in one of those.
Okay then.
Save
On that
that
note, getting a little weird off the start. All right. All right. So, welcome back, everybody. A lot of stuff happened last session. A lot of fun stuff. But yeah, let's go ahead and get our customary revisiting of last session from the book A la Viz.
Well, this morning certainly has been action-packed. Let me fill you in on it. First, we went below Dandy Mops. It found out to be an entrance to the sewers. We heard screaming, so we heroically ran to the aid of the person pleading for help. And guess who it was? You wouldn't believe it. It was Losser, the halfling necromancer we were looking for. Anyway, some Kenkus were trying to attack him, but he had some skeletons protecting him. Now, the fighting kind of became a bit of a blur, but 2 Kenku ran out of the sewers through a back entrance. All the skeletons, necromancers, and gazers being defeated, we gave pursuit. Now, imagine in your head, we're sprinting and chasing these Kenkus through the crowded streets. We're dodging around vendors, ducking under stained glass windows, narrowly avoiding city guard and avoiding death traps, and we finally catch them. A very amazing combination of Ritz's skill shots and Talia's strong muscles. They got the box away from the Kenku. Once we regrouped, the box started touching our minds. Like, not physically, but like telepathically touching our minds. It sifted through our thoughts and it deemed us worthy. But Golorr, that's the stone. It's its name. It's also the Stone of Golorr. Said one person must attune to it. Kai bravely offered himself up for this, and he allowed his mind to make a connection with the stone. Kai told us everything he learned about the stone. Here are the big things. We need 3 things present with us to gain entrance into the vault. We need a drunk elf, a living construct, and a shapeshifter. That one's me. Also, there's like 500 gold pieces in the vault, though those gold pieces were embezzled by the previous Open Lord Neverember. Oh, and the gold pieces are guarded by an ancient gold dragon.
All right. So after finally getting a hold of the Stone of Golorr, after much chase and much ado, you found yourselves still in early morning and returning back to your home here in Trollskull Manor. Kai is attuned to the stone, learning that one side note that you were told by the stone that I think I neglected to mention last time in my excitement. You were told that the Vault of Dragons is where the dragons, these gold pieces, as they're called in Waterdeep, lie in this vault, and this vault is hidden. Stone apparently is the only one who knows where the vault is. Didn't elaborate how he was the only one, especially with the knowledge that you all got or gleamed, or at least one of you has gleamed, regarding as to the source of the dragons. Yeah. The Stone of Golorr told you that the vault lied below a theater called the Pink Flumph Theater.
What about the Pink Flump Theater?
The stone lies beneath, or the vault lies beneath it.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize you had told me.
That was something I neglected last session.
Yeah, I
So
didn't catch that one.
Flump?
I was going through my notes. I'm like, that's important. Let me go ahead and recap that.
We thought maybe they were just holding their cards and not telling us where it is.
Yeah, same. I just thought
Well,
he was like,
so
I'm not telling you yet.
Yeah, I was planning on trying to dig that information out to begin with, so.
All right. So, knowing these 3 keys, that are needed for it. Revisiting those, one being a drunken elf, the second key being an animated construct, and the third being a shape changer of some sort. That is where we're going to go and start the session. So you're all still here. It's, at this point, still pretty early in the morning. Y'all got up and started moving around just before daybreak. Moving back across the city, it's taking about an hour or so, so it's probably about heading towards 9 bells in the morning. What do y'all want to do?
Yeah, you glitched there for a minute, Havoc.
That's I was like, crap.
Everybody
Start
did.
crapping
Like,
out
the whole
again.
thing
One
froze.
day I will remember
There
to
we
do
go.
that at the beginning. There we go. Alright, back on Central.
Cool.
Alright, what do y'all want to do?
So,
Well, knowing where it is changes things, actually.
A little bit, yeah.
I felt really sleepy and I liked long rest.
do we know where the Pink Plump Theater is?
Not in the
What district?
morning.
Maybe.
Does Jot know?
Wait, sorry. Does
Know where the
that
Pink
is?
Plump Theater is?
I don't know. Would I know?
Oh, would you?
Like what district?
Key story? I don't know.
Go through all this work of setting up all the different notes I'm gonna need, and then forget that one.
Tell them where it is. Yeah, but where is that?
Mm-hmm.
It's its own district.
It's in Waterdeep, for sure.
That's
right, cool.
good. I'm glad we
All
don't
right.
travel somewhere else.
Maybe we'll find it when we need it. I think
You'll be able
we
to find it. You know where it is, Jot.
Okay,
At the
alright.
very least, you do.
Okay, cool. Okay. I was
I
like, I,
think-
didn't know if you wanted me to roll a history check or something. So.
Are we gonna all stay together?
I think I'd rather stick together. For
Some of you guys are really squishy.
We're gonna go talk to people. Hopefully they don't hit us.
Fireball. We've had a couple fireball incidents. We almost died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was. Really
And
scary.
then out in front of our place with a fireball. But if you think you can do fireball alone, go ahead.
Okay.
Can I do that? I can't do that.
I believe I like my chances here.
You'd rather stay here, Kai?
Well, maybe I can extract a bit of information from the stone.
Okay.
I do think that the stone's putting a bit of a target on us, and maybe keeping it out of the public eye. It might not be a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And if it were to be anywhere, I feel like people would most likely assume it was with the group, not with a single person.
Unless they had some way of like searching for or finding it.
Hey, Liv?
What happens if he's a spy?
Wakes up out of the cellar, looking over towards you.
Could you, keep our friend, here company? If he's to stay here while we step out, feel better with you around.
Daddy looks over at Kai and looks back at you and kind of nods and floats over and next to Kai and looks around at the bar and pulls out grabs a rag from underneath it and starts cleaning the bar.
He's the best fucking employee we have.
Because we don't pay him.
Exactly.
Unpaid labor.
Well, the House of Inspired Wonders is pretty close, so I think
Hands,
starting there would be
yes.
good.
um.
Just on the west side.
Mhm. Yeah, we should probably start there, I guess.
Or should that be the last stop?
I think that should be our first step because I think this is like the only real requirement we have is we need Nim or something sentient like Nim.
Right.
Everything else that we want to do is just like things that would
Kidnap
be
an
nice.
elf, no big deal. It's fine.
I think the point of concern that I had was everything else is like, hey, come back and talk to us at the tavern. Whereas, are we going to walk around with the Nimblewright for the rest of the day if they let us have him?
Sure. I mean, people have seen nimble rights before. Only a select few people know about the murderous one, so...
That's fair.
We could also, I mean, just bring him back here immediately if we do manage to convince... How are we going to convince her to let us? Also, we should really get him to agree to it, because he's like not... He's a person, so it, you know...
So wait, aren't we going to go to individual people and ask them to help us and meet us at the vault? Or are we asking everyone to come back to our place? Because if we bring everyone there, then we can't negotiate different prices for different people.
Fair. Yeah.
If we hit them up one-on-one, then we can, like, maybe lowball or, you know, if someone gets a higher cut than the others, and the other ones won't be upset.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well... Off to the house, then?
Before we leave, Biz, I want to look over at Kai and be like, "Are you sure you want to stay here by yourself with the ominous, probably evil stone?" Like, I understand if you want time alone to talk to it, but I don't want to leave you behind. Your guidance and insight is very helpful a lot of times, and I don't want you to be stuck by yourself if you learn something, you know, very pressing.
I don't believe taking the stone out in the streets is going to benefit us any. Unfortunately, in this situation, I think I have to stay behind. I think it's important that I find out everything I can from this stone.
Okay. Well, then I guess we'll go to the House of Wonders.
Alrighty.
As you guys get ready to head out, I'm looking and I'm again drawing a blank. What was the name of the really drunken elf guy that we saved?
Heldar.
Eldar.
He's one of my good buddies.
Yeah, Kai will kind of look over to the party and say, "Don't forget, we need to try to find Heldar if we can. I think he'll benefit us in this situation."
He is the drunkest elf that we know.
He absolutely is the drunkest elf.
And probably one of the friendliest.
I haven't really met very many elves.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do we
Dabble.
have like to-go containers of ale from our tavern?
Just to get him drunk.
Like I don't want to carry a whole thing like a growler. Yeah, like a pitcher with a lid, because I want to give it to him and be like, "Hey, if you come help us, I will get you nice and properly drunk. Here's a sample." And it'll be free.
We could just give him like a couple bottles of wine or something.
Mm-hmm.
He kept on drinking ale when we were in the last bar.
Kai is going to run upstairs and come back with a very small cask and walk over to the bar and look over at the others and say, "Which do you think he would prefer?"
Where did
The
you
strongest.
get the cask?
Don't ask questions.
You're not asking questions. I just asked that you please return the cask immediately. And Kai's gonna look at and find whatever has the highest alcohol per volume and just fill this mini cask, place the lid onto it, and set it on the countertop for you guys.
Halfling's help, I guess. It specifically says high levels of alcohol.
There it
It has
is.
the taste
There
of
you go.
strawberries with notes of sun-dappled meadows.
There we go. That's
High
it.
levels of
What
alcohol.
does
High
a sun-dappled
levels.
meadow taste like?
I've got an idea, but I'm not going to say it on stream.
Like summer.
I was thinking like late spring, early summer.
Yeah, please don't get this stream blocked.
I'm
on
not-
every
nope,
continent
nope.
ever.
Mm-mm. I'm a good boy.
Sometimes.
Alrighty, so preparing yourselves to head off to the west, over towards the seaward of Waterdeep. You grab some provisions. Kai staying behind to see what information he can get from the Stone of Golorr, and the rest of you set off. Any other stops you'd like to make, or are you just going to make straight over towards the House of Inspired Hands?
For now, this is straight to the
Yeah.
House of Inspired Hands.
One thing at a time.
Risk, give me a D20, or D100, please.
be 100, huh?
Mhm.
We all get cats.
We already have
I don't have time
dogs,
for you
so-
now.
Oh
Cat.
no, I don't know what.
I don't know what that means, but
Huh.
Is that a drink?
A 1 or a
No.
100 in this situation is probably bad. I don't
Wow.
know, or maybe really good.
Wow.
That's a
all right.
1% chance. I'm thoroughly impressed. Which is
That's a
actually
double drink.
That's actually
That's
probably true about
Meteors
any
fall
member
from
who would
the
have rolled.
sky. Don't
that's
worry.
that's the highest I've rolled in weeks.
You're
let's
saving up for this
see.
big important moment.
Yeah.
We don't run into any traffic.
The streets are just empty.
That's probably a worse sign, to be honest.
Like, something bad's happening.
That's how many fireball necklaces got thrown on us when we walked out the door.
All right. So as you're making your way out, you start heading down. Is it Delzorin? I can't remember. Yeah, Delzorin Street. Heading to the west from there. As you keep going, you keep to the more populated streets here. It is somewhat hard to see, as there is still that heavy fog presence that you know will be lingering for a little while. The sky, what little you can make out, is dark and gray up above you. It's a bit cold with the wet rain and fog around you. But the city of Waterdeep doesn't seem to slow, even in this unfortunate weather. You start making your way to the west. You find yourself moving down Delzor until it switches over, and starting to get closer to the House of Inspired Hands. You get to the cross-section of Diamond Street. And as you do so, everybody give me perception checks.
At disadvantage or no?
It's close by. It's not a disadvantage.
What's close by, Havoc?
It.
That thing.
The thing.
So, Risk is scanning the environment. Everyone else quickly notices a large group of people standing next to you, or standing around the corner here on Diamond Street. As you kind of slow in your travel to the west, you look over and you see that there's at least a dozen guards over to your west, and they seem to be surrounding several men in black cloaks. You see, one of them is not a man, though. One of them is a woman. An orc woman. Or a half-orc. Risk finally catching up with the rest of them. You all recognize there seems to be a group of Zentarum that are being arrested here. And Yagra is among them. As you're passing by and hearing him, you can hear one guard and says, all right, no fuss now. Taking you off for questioning here in recent matters here in the city. Come along quietly.
Do I see Davil? Do I see Ingrid? Or is Yagra the only one I recognize?
Yagra's the only one. You see with her are two men wearing very similar clothing that you recognize from the Zentarum, mercenary factions. Are with her. They don't seem to be putting up a fight or anything. No weapons. They're holding their hands up plaintively and stuff. But you can definitely tell a look of frustration on all of their faces.
Do I recognize any of the guards? Because we've met a couple of them.
No, you do not.
Okay. Risk is going to run over and kind of make his presence known before he gets there. Like, not being aggressive, but kind of like hands up, like, hey, what the fuck is going on over here?
As you move forward, you see one of the guards turning around, and he's kind of moving people back. A crowd's beginning to gather around all of these guards. He turns around to you and says, Stay back. Official business of the city here.
Yes,
Taking in some ruffians.
I've helped out your official business in the city quite a bit. What's going on here? I'm with the group who helped clear out Graham Manor.
With that, the man looks at you and kind of tilts his head and kind of sizes you up and down. Says, well, turns out there's been a lot of trouble on the streets. At Growlhood Manor, even, that you're talking about is a recent event, I suppose. But we're under orders to arrest any known associates of the Zentarum and bring them in for questioning.
Can I try and make eye contact with Yagra and see if she's kind of like I mean, is she going peacefully? Is she like getting ready to snap? I'm trying to like.
Do we see a Zentarum like hideout over here, or do we know like where they were when they were being arrested? Were they like in a bar or a house or anything like that?
As you're looking around, you see that this area is somewhat quieter. Delzoran Street's kind of busy, but Diamond not so much. There's a lot of housing and such around here. You see a large manor off to your right, kind of similar to the Growlhund Manor a bit, with a large yard and such around it. But you don't see any bars or anything like that. It seems like they were just caught out here in the open. Risk, as you're looking out, Yagra's kind of glancing around at the crowd and at the guard. She's got a frustrated look, is what you can tell. Not really angry, just more annoyed, if nothing else. As she's looking around, she does look over and catch your eye, or catch sight of your face, rather. And she kind of looks over towards you, her jowl or teeth jutting up and everything, and she just kind of nods towards you.
All right. Risk will look at the guard and say, thank you for the information.
So as you turn around, kind of moving away from the guards, you see them moving up, and all three of the Zentarum members aren't even needed to, like, you don't see them putting cuffs on them or anything like that. They're just being escorted. You see them being escorted kind of off to the west, where off to the northwest, rather, back up to Delzoran Street and up. You assume probably to the guardhouse here in the Seaward.
Where's the guardhouse in the Seaward?
That is, we were there, weren't we? Isn't that where we...
Not the Seaward.
No,
That was the North Ward.
Okay.
It's kind of up to the north.
Nope.
Yeah, it's up to the north. Up there.
Up there.
Okay.
Bigger building.
Just curious.
I'm gonna walk back to the group.
What's going on?
It didn't seem like they were arresting them, but they were taking Yagra and the other Zentarum in for questioning.
Well, play
As long as they didn't do anything wrong, it'll be fine. People don't get arrested for not committing any crimes. It won't be a problem.
We've probably committed a couple crimes and we haven't been arrested, so...
Exactly.
I don't think I've committed any crimes.
Risk is gonna keep walking
Not
to the house. He's just... Yeah. That's his friend.
I feel
He's
like
not-
all of us just like looked away from Biz, like
Biz has definitely committed crimes. He
Kai
doesn't
is-
think he's committed
Kai
any
isn't
crimes.
even there, and he's just like, holy shit.
Somewhere Kai just shakes his head.
The disturbance in the force.
As we approach the House of Inspired Hands, Viz will be like, "You don't think they're gonna go arrest Kai, do you?
Why would you say that?
Because we've all talked with the Zentarum before."
They've arrested Risk.
they would have arrested us then. Yeah.
I got the tattoo and... I'm just kidding.
All right, so as you continue off to the west, leaving behind the apprehending, I suppose, of the Zentarum agents, you head to the west even further, crossing through the street of this Singing Dolphin, this kind of main thoroughfare that goes between here and the arena called the Field of Triumph down to your southwest. You continue on, and as you approach, you see the building hasn't changed at all. However, it's much like the first time that some of you went there. As you're moving forward, once again, it's more like a shop than a place of worship, even though this is a temple of Gond. You see that it's very open air and such, and as you're walking forward, you see what appear to be acolytes working at benches and such and talking amongst each other. You see them holding parchment. Fog is swirling around, and then you see it being kind of moved away from inside there, where it's relatively clear despite there are no walls. And as you're moving in, you kind of feel this breeze on your face, and you see a couple of machines with large kind of nozzles on them that are apparently blowing out some kind of gust of wind that's moving the fog out of the House of Inspired Hands.
I can do that.
Yeah? That's cool.
I'll have to show you one time.
I love that.
you were in the House of Inspired Hands.
Okay, last time I talked to Valletta went great. Not great at all. So probably someone else should talk to her than me.
Who's the most charming?
What?
She said he's the most charming. Steven.
I'm pointing at Viz.
I was gonna say, on my screen you're pointing at me.
Well, yeah, I kind of. No, I'm kind of.
Well,
Do we see Valletta about?
As you're looking around, you see all the different acolytes, different races all amongst them. You see a few elves, some humans, a couple small halflings and gnomes running around as well. But only one dragonborn, this bronze one that you've met before. Valletta is standing kind of in the back. You see her writing some notes apparently on some parchment, kind of surveying around her with that same stone-like expression on her face, just pure neutrality. Doesn't seem to notice you, though.
I would like to approach and say, excuse me, Valletta?
With that, she looks up from her notes, very calm look on her face, and nods to you and says, yes, Viz, was it, I believe. What can I do for you today?
Oh, correct. I just wanted to see if we could discuss something. Do you have a minute where we could have a discussion with you? We wanted to ask a favor of you.
With that, she kind of looks around, says, well, I have a few minutes before I'm needed again with the studies here. With that, she kind of looks around and kind of motions behind, or beside her rather, for you to follow as she turns around, kind of moving over to a back hallway where less people are and such, and then turns around and says, yes, what is it?
Oh, thank you so much for your time. We first we wanted to ask to make sure that after we had completed the job that we had helped you out with, if you felt that the job was completed satisfactory. We did a little bit of questioning on our own, and it never seemed that anyone had ever heard of the Nimble Rite, and so we just wanted to confirm that the job completed correctly.
With that, she thinks for a moment, says, you were paid. I do remember you visiting in the dead of the night and bothering me for that. Yes, the job was done in a satisfactory manner.
Correct. The most important goal we had was to make sure that specifically you had asked that the reputation of the House of Wonders not be tarnished or mentioned in any way. And through our own investigation and questioning, no one has ever mentioned a rogue Nimble Rite, and so I just wanted to confirm that you have also not seen any sort of effects like that.
That she nods, and you see her kind of looking around you at all the acolytes busily working and such. Says, the House of Inspired Hands is still open, and though there were some questions from some people about this errant Nimble Rites, those more astute to gathering information, everything turned out it was no fault of ours or anyone else's, it seemed. It was a rogue creation. There have been others like it in the past.
Of course, that's excellent. I'm glad to hear that. Could we ask on how Nim has been doing since the incident?
With that, she thinks for a moment, kind of rubbing her claw against her face. Nim has improved. His ability to create, his ability to learn is not diminished, of course. It's grown, if nothing else, but he has learned to listen much more. Using all of his toys was a good lesson for him.
It definitely seems like your methods have been very effective. I know we had discussed on what we thought would be good for Nim, but it seems like you knew best, and the decisions you made really, really helped Nim out. Part of us being here is to see if you would allow Nim to join us outside of the house.
That she thinks for a moment, says, and for what reason?
We are investigating a potential discovery it's a common rumor to know about the horde of dragons that the previous Open Lord had hid in the city. We believe we may have found it. And one of the sources describes that we must have a what's Steve is looking at something. We need a sentient construct present to open the vault door. We think Nim is the smartest and brightest sentient construct we've ever met, and we would love to have him with us on our expedition.
At that, you see Valletta thinking and mulling it over for a moment, and then she looks at you and very deadpan, straight expression on her face. She nods once. Very well.
Thank you. I think we don't know much about the vault, but we'd like to take him with us and see what we find, and we will report back to you and have him back to the House of Inspired Hands.
He for sure is
That
a
she
bitch.
nods.
I'm gonna shake her hand and say, thank you for your assistance.
Don't question
She kind of
anymore. Let's run away.
looks at your hand and doesn't shake back and says, I will remove the wards
Can I stick a fist bump in
holding
there?
him to this place. Just looks at you like you're being very weird. I will release the wards, keeping him and restraining him to this place. He will be in your custody until then, and if anyone asks about any other nimble rights running errantly to the city, I will turn them to you. I hope you understand this.
Absolutely. We are going to ask Nim as well to see if he wants to come with us. If he doesn't feel inclined to leave and go on an expedition, then we won't ask him to, but we wanted to clear it with you first, as you're his primary caretaker and you have the wards in place.
As she nods, says, that goes without saying. Him will go where he pleases. I have no control over him otherwise. Aside from the words, of course.
Alright, well, we'll just head up onto his room then.
As she nods, says, you know the way. I must return back to my duties.
Thanks again for
As
your
she
time.
walks back out.
I did not expect that at all.
Nope. Same.
Talia feels like this is really easy, like almost too easy.
I feel
As-
suspicious.
As we're walking away, be like, Jot, you did such a great job there.
What?
You didn't ruin everything. It was awesome.
I deserve that. That's fair. That's fair.
You didn't
Liz,
call
I will kill you.
you didn't call her a scaly bitch this time.
I didn't call her a scaly bitch last time. To her face.
Maybe
To her
not-
face.
Not to her face. So we'll go up to Nim's room.
Okay. As you do so, you walk back down the hallway. One of the last doors on the left. You remember it being there. You see that the lock that was there is no longer present. There is just a hole in the door where the door handle and lock was. You're able to poke in. You hear some light, like metal on metal sounds, just ding, ding, ding. And as you open it up, you see Nim, this little construct made out of like copper and other metals, sitting over, kind of hunched over in a bit awkward way, one leg kind of sprawled up next to him. As he reaches down, he seems to be hitting some kind of small little contraption.
As a quick question, did you guys ever get in trouble when you were younger and your parents threatened to remove the entire door from your bedroom? That's what this reminds me of. Like, oh, you're gonna be naughty? You don't get a bedroom door then anymore. So I'm gonna kind of look towards Jot and just.
Okay. Nim?
Ding, ding. Looks over at all of you. Game racing him. Right. Or wait.
Oh yeah, he can't talk, right? That was a thing. He
Nope.
writes stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does he have a sword
No,
arm
he
too?
does has sign language, right?
He has sign language
None
that
of
him
us
and Valletta know.
Understand it all.
Yeah.
Does he also have a sword arm? I knew the rogue one did. Does he also have a sword arm?
He does not have a sword on his arm. No.
Okay.
He has two hands. You see they're kind of parted in the middle, so where you can kind of, I can't do it with my hand, but it goes like this when he waves, to let him grasp instruments and stuff. Yeah, I can't do that.
Can't do
But
that very well, but yeah.
no sword or anything like that. He has basically 3 digits, so he could hold something like a sword, but Not attached to his hand. Yeah. Can't do that either.
Would you like to go on an adventure with us?
Tilts his head to the side as if it looks like he's thinking. Holds up, and one of his appendages comes up. Turns around. You see him scurrying over to a corner where his room is immaculately clean compared to the last time. There's still crap all over the place, but there's not mountains of it all over the place. He disappears over the corner, and then you see him, a couple things go flying through the air, and then you see a huge, like, brown sack come up, and you see him holding it up in the air. Stands back up, looks around. You see him grabbing things that don't make a whole lot of sense to you, just little pieces of machinery and such through it that goes in. Then you see him looking at it, and ching, ching, just metal on metal sounds. He throws it over his shoulder, looks around. You see him picking up a small, kind of short rapier-looking thing that he puts on there, and then you see him kind of he makes this clicking noise as he attaches it physically to his leg, and then takes it off, and then he looks over and says, or doesn't say anything, he just starts...
Hey, it might be dangerous, we don't know. Just want to warn you.
Click.
He liked this guy.
That's the dagger he has on his boot.
It's the rapier that he attached to his leg. He unclicks it and holds it up in the air.
You got like a little...
I like your style.
Instead of a sheath, he just attaches it to himself.
Like
Alright.
magnets.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was way simpler than I was expecting to be. So great, let's just go then. I guess.
There is some stipulation. You have to be
Right,
on
yes.
your best behavior, or Valletta will be very upset. And when we're done, you have to come back here.
That you see his dark little kind of beady eyes that rotate and click. He looks kind of left and right, takes the bag off, opens it up. You see him reach into it, pulls out, and you see a small contraption that's familiar to a couple of you. It looks very similar to the little bird that was accidentally thrown in your direction, and he takes it out and sets it on the ground and picks his bag back up and looks at you.
He doesn't want it to get hurt.
Oh, bird got killed.
That's just familiar. Does the bird have a name?
Does sign language.
Is that a yes or a no? Perfect. We'll come back for Birdie.
All right, here we go then.
Okay, so
How tall is Nim?
Barely
feet.
4 feet.
Barely 4 feet. So he's just slightly taller, a little bit taller than me.
As he starts to move forward, kind of nodding to all of you, you just it's obnoxious how loud this bag is. Just clang, clang, just metal on metal rattling around as he moves forward and kind of stands next to you all.
Stealth at triple disadvantage.
Is the things in the bag super necessary, Nim?
Opens it up for you to look inside the bag. You just see junk.
Maybe let's leave that there. Anything you need, we'll get for you. That way you don't have to ruin your nice stuff.
What else? Was there anything like you thought would be super useful in there for an adventure? That does seem like a good idea.
Are there any big sheets of metal that he could use as a shield with his other hand? Or is most everything like clockworky and stuff?
Yeah, it's all very
any giant
clockworky,
gears
steampunky.
that could be like a buckler.
Yeah, not anything that big. He works in small little items.
All right. Well, Nim, welcome to Switzerland. And we'll leave.
Is that our group name now, Switzerland?
Well, we were so neutral for so long.
Yeah.
We
All
are.
right.
I don't think Nim's ever met Kai. We're gonna take you to one of our good friends back at our tavern, and you're gonna hang out with him for a little while.
All right.
All right.
Oh, I want to
So
try
as
to
you
teach him
all-
Knuckles. Ba-la-la-la-la.
It hurts.
Ba-la-la-la-la.
It's very
We only got
awkward.
3 digits,
We'll get there. Oh God, can I teach him to do the robot?
All right, so as you start leaving the House of Inspired Hands, you see Nim kind of looking around a bit, kind of tentatively a bit confused as he's moving down, and you don't stop in the common area. He He kind of walks and keeps following you. He kind of slows down a bit, looking around.
Loretta said you could come out. It's fine, as long as you stay with us.
And he nods and keeps following you. He gets kind of to the edge of the doorway, and you see him moving forward, and one little foot goes out and steps and tiptoes against the ground outside, and then he steps through and kind of looks around upside and just trying to look around outside, but it's just fog everywhere. He kind of looks around and looks back towards you and just starts bouncing along behind you.
Do you want to hold my hand and skip? Have you ever skipped before? It's one of the best methods of transportation. I'm going to frolic slightly, grab his hand, and skip. Look how much fun you're having.
All these people that you're walking by as you start heading back towards Strosgård just staring at you as you're skipping along with this small animated construct.
And it's ironic because we're skipping as we're off to see the wizard.
All of you, give me insight checks about this whole spiel.
Yeah, I would really love to do that. Thank you.
Whew.
I sadly don't really get that. Thank God someone rolled good. I feel so suspicious about everything right now.
This is
My
fine.
drink is empty.
Jot, go ahead and roll one more time. You're at disadvantage. You have a lot of biased emotion towards this place.
I was going to say, I don't think she's going to get much lower than a 12.
I didn't think so either, but maybe that nat one would happen.
It's a setup, guys.
All of you realize that this place, aside from Jimmelin, who has had a prior, past with this place, all of you have shown up. You've helped with issues regarding Nim. You have discovered a loose construct that originated from their place, killed it, and aside from somebody may have asked some questions according to Valletta, you've solved a big problem for them, or several problems. Valletta, aside from y'all visiting in the middle of the night to get your payment, really has no reason to dislike you. It just, every time you talk to her, unfortunately one person was there and didn't see eye to eye with Valletta, and though Valletta was kind of like,
we don't need short jokes right now.
So
What if every time Jot
Wow.
talked to Valletta, she went over across the room and dragged a step stool over, like in Men in
How
Black,
dare
stood up in front of it. You don't talk to me.
But yeah, you
I
all
think
get
Valletta's
the
great.
idea that Valletta likes all of you, just for whatever reason. Jot hates her, so she just kind of is awkward around you.
Jot has a magical step stool in her pocket that's like mini
throw it
and
out
it's
every time.
We have stilts that we got from Valletta,
Oh, we did get stilts from her. I forgot about those.
and a matchless pipe,
Mhm.
and a
Parachute.
Yeah,
barking box.
completely
Got a
forgot.
lot of fun stuff.
Haven't used them at all in 2 days. Anyway, so we're gonna go back to the tavern.
Oh, are we?
We definitely don't want to walk around with Nim. Okay, you guys go do your thing. I'm gonna take Nim back because you're right. It's faster if you guys just head south. Viz is gonna go back with Nim to the tavern. I'll catch up with you guys on the flip side.
Okay, so I think we should swing by Blackstaff Tower to at least complete the dragon job. And then maybe talk to them about help. They might have something for us.
I don't know. Like,
That's all right. They've got an exclamation point above their head. We still got to turn in the bronze dragon quest.
That's what I'm saying. Like, let's at least 'cause
Also,
they
let
might-
them know about the other dragon.
Yeah, they
ancient
also might have information for us. But we should be getting some kind of reward, be it money or something to help us. But I think, say we go there, Viz brings back Nim, then we all meet back up at the Yawning Portal, because we want to talk to Jalister.
I guess I don't know.
I skip away merrily with my nimble right friend. We're off to see the necromancer, Nimkai.
Yeah, I mean, I guess may as well try and run by there. We don't know where we're gonna find. Why do I forget his name every fucking time?
Rilatar.
No. drunk elf guy. It's something
Heldar.
Heldar, yeah.
I mean,
Or just some other random drunk elf.
I'm literally putting that in my notes. It says drunk elf. Held.
I have it in there. I just can't. I guess I could put it beside the notes about.
We're going to go to Mule Skull Tavern. We're going to talk to Richard Charleston, who's the proprietor of the Mule Skull Tavern. And we're going to find Heldar in his favorite chair. He goes there every night to get drunk, is what Richard Charleston said.
Is what Viz would say if he were still here.
Correct. That's Steve talking to everyone else.
Yeah.
Viz is frolicking with Nim. Back to Troll Skull.
All right, yeah. I suppose we can swing back by Blackstaff and then. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So as Viz and Nim head back across town to Troll Skull Manor, the rest of you head directly south, eventually arriving at Blackstaff Tower. As you arrive, last couple times you've been here, it's been nighttime. It's been either late in the day or night. As you're moving forward now, you see that it's a bustle of activity. It's hard to see through the fog, but you see it kind of lifts around this area just to the sheer amount of people in this area. As you're looking around, you see what appear to be scholars of all different kinds. Mages, acolytes, everything in between around there, who seem to probably come here to study or for work and such. As you're looking around, the three of you here, give me insight checks as you're looking around. So all of you, on your initial, investigation of the people that seem to be moving around or in and out, you see that there's a door actually on Blackstaff Tower, clearly visible. Going in and out of the building, you see, like I said, a lot of probably acolytes, mages, things of that nature. But then Risk and Jot especially, Talia, you see him as well. Just takes you a few moments. You see that there's people that don't look like the learned, at the very least, by any stretch of the imagination. You see this incredibly large Goliath, him wearing next to no clothes at all. You see some leather straps that are really on just for function because he has this gigantic great axe that's poking up over the side. Then a loincloth just to cover, make him decent, I suppose. You see who appears to be a paladin or a cleric of some kind. You see the symbol for Tyr on his chest, of his chest plate, holding a great maul in his hand. And as you start to examine it a bit closer, while you do see many spellcasters, you see more people who look strong. They look like what you'd expect heroes to look like. Powerful adventurers. And all of you were reminded that before you had basically directly interacted with Rilatar, that Force Grey was known as a protection group, essentially, for Waterdeep, and even sometimes for the Sword Coast itself, where it gathered powerful adventurers to spy if they can cast magic, if they can hit things really hard, really fast, if they're monks, if they're anything else. You do notice that there's definitely a collection of them here, going in and out of the tower. But with that, you move forward and you see there's a small table sitting up next to this door. And you see a friend of yours, or an acquaintance at the very least. You see Rilatar sitting behind it with a long ink quill pen with a feather on the end of it, writing down, kind of talking to people as they move through the queue, heading into Blackstaff Tower, or leaving. He talks to them as well, on either side of his table. And with that, you should get into the line with it and start moving forward. And with that, he looks up and says, "Yes, it's you. How are you today?"
Fine. How are you?
See him kind of glancing around at the weather. Enjoying the lovely breeze.
Do you know about the task that Vajra asked us to do?
Yes.
We did it?
Riveting.
Does she want to report or something?
Of course. Do you have something to... And his words cut off as you see him squinting and kind of buckling over a bit. And then stops and looks around. Says, yes. Yes. Okay. Yes, thank you, Vajra.
You okay?
Yes, she would like a report from you directly. Enter. And with that, you see him looking over at the door, kind of motioning for you to enter into it.
As we walk
I'm
past the
uncomfortable.
Goliath,
What just happened?
can I look at the Goliath and ask him, "You Goliath?" I just want to see if he's going to tell me he's a tiefling.
And he looks down. Yes.
You're a big motherfucker. And scamper inside.
And promptly run away. Dude, you're big as fuck. Run.
As
I
you're
bet I
all
could beat
moving
him in an
past
arm
him,
wrestle.
wrists scurrying inside, you see the Goliath looking over at the cleric next to him. Scrawny one, wasn't he? Walking away.
Fuck. You're lucky she's holding me back as like I walk in the jot.
No! Behave. Behave.
Little gnome. Alright, so as you enter in, you see that it's dark all around you, very similarly to the last time you went into Blackstaff Tower. But as you step in, you see the blackness. Only light really into the room is from the outside door. It shuts behind you. And turn around, looking around, not be able to see anything. And then the room just kind of brightens up, and as it does so, your eyes adjusting, you see that you're in a study. You look around, you see the walls are lined with books. All around you are some comfortable-looking furniture and such, but you see every piece of furniture's got like a little desk and a reading lamp next to it, where somebody could lounge in different places to read. As you're looking around, looking at this bit of a study/library, you see a large desk sitting at the back end of the room. And it's a good 30 feet or so for you to walk across that hard, nice, mahogany hardwood floors beneath your feet. Chandeliers that seem to be lit, but you can't see the source of the light from it, but the room is very much well lit. You see a woman, her skin darkened complexion, sitting behind the desk. Beside her, you see a very large, at least 6 foot tall staff sitting next to her, this black, almost obsidian-looking makeup to it, with a clawed end at the end of it, sitting within arm's reach of her. You see this, once again, dark-skinned woman, her hair black and braided over, sitting behind it, and she seems to be leaning over some parchment, scribbling on it. And as all of you are kind of looking around and lingering for a few moments, you hear her voice. A voice that you all recognize, or those of you that got the missive before, as Vajra speaks to you and says, "Yes, come forward, it's fine. I'm almost done with what I'm doing."
Walk up a little bit and wait.
As you all approach, another minute or so passes as she continues scribbling. With that, she kind of sighs and sets the pen down, looking up at you. Says, yes, the adventurers I heard so much about, and unfortunately had to deal with the Rillatar, but as is protocol. But yes, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
Busy up to my eyeballs, unfortunately, but it's neither here or there, I suppose. How did things go in the harbor?
Kind of look over at Risk and Talia and like, me? Or you guys want to go? Or no?
Very well. First time
Talia's
I've
in awe of her giant staff.
First time I've ever got to speak to a dragon, so that was kind of a cool moment for me.
Well, so there was a dragon there, and I see, yes, no missing limbs, no deep tissue burns. I take it you didn't have to fight or get into a tussle with this dragon, then?
Well, we are missing 2 party members.
They're fine.
Yes.
Very nice.
Very well. Anything of import regarding the dragon? Why is it in the harbor, perhaps?
Honestly, his name is Zelifarn. He's a young bronze dragon, and he's just here just to check stuff out. Honestly, he seemed pretty
He's very young. He's very curious.
Very, very young for a dragon, I think.
He's seeking the, lost treasures in the harbor, but mostly he really wanted to know about the city, about the festivals and what the people were like and what was going on in town. He was just very young, very curious, but that was about it. Very friendly.
That you see her thinking and listening, kind of nodding along as you're speaking, and as you finish, she stands up, kind of pushing the chair out. You see her kind of arching her back, stretching a bit. Seems like she's probably been sitting there for a while. With that, she walks over, and you see her kind of oddly, not even looking at it, just picks up the staff and uses it kind of as a walking stick as she paces back and forth behind the desk. All of you notice that she seems to be kind of talking to herself a bit. She kind of mutters. You're unable to really pick out the words and such, but she seems to be almost having a discussion with herself. After a couple more minutes of this, she stops and looks over and says, "So, I trust your judgment on this. You say that this dragon means no ill will. It's young, curious, not going to wreak havoc in the harbor, start eating fishermen or sailors and such."
I really don't think so.
He honestly seemed mostly sad that people were scared of him. I do think if someone tries to take any of the treasure he collects, obviously he'll be upset, but he mostly just seemed curious and wanted to talk to people.
As you say that, you see her eyebrow arching up and says, "Well, any damned fool who tried to steal from a dragon deserves what they get."
I agree.
Yeah.
With that, she nods and says, "Who would?" With that, she nods and says, "Very well, I suppose that will suffice then. We were thinking it was something of that sort, but having an eyes-on opinion, especially from people who've done good work for us in the past, sets my worries at ease, I suppose. There's plenty more things to worry about here in this city than some dragon browsing inside the harbor." With that, she thinks for a moment and says, "Ah, yes." And she goes over to her desk and says, "No." There, she reaches over and you see a kind of a, not a sack, but kind of a small like coin pouch sitting next to her on the side of her desk, and says, "I think it was in there." And you see her reaching her hand in, and then her like entire arm goes into this coin pouch until it's like a small bag of holding, and she pulls out another small pouch. And with that, she looks down and says, "Ah, your payment," and throws it out towards you, Risk, and catch it in there. You feel this like dust or something like sand is inside of it. With that, she looks over and says, "Well, excellent work. I do appreciate you taking care of that pretty quickly, too. Also appreciate it, especially with the onset of spring setting on and slowing everything down here in Waterdeep. I didn't have any gold on my person, but I figured that would work just as well. That was supposed to be a joke if you returned soaking wet from exploring the harbor, but it's a dust of dryness, actually. Could be useful to you adventurers for other things, but if you happen to go into the water again, well, that'll help you out, I suppose."
I had a couple other things while we were here, if you don't mind a couple minutes of your time.
That she thinks for a moment. You see her eyes kind of rolling back a bit, and she looks over at the staff and says, "Yes, I have a few minutes, I suppose. What is it?"
Jot, do we want to talk about our thing? Or do you mind if I ask about my thing, or?
Okay, go ahead.
I had something happen, yesterday? Jesus Christ. That I'm not entirely sure what it was. One of my friends got knocked unconscious in a fight, and I grew wings.
With that, she thinks, seeing her eyes squinting in thought for a moment. Wings, huh? First time for this to happen for you, I'm assuming?
Yes. Yeah, my eyes turned silver, platinum, and I grew what looked like dragon wings from my back. Not physical, not corporeal, but I could fly. And I'm just not familiar with what that was. I didn't know if you might have any kind of experience with something like that.
With that, she thinks as well. It sounds, at least, for them to be incorporeal and showing up in such a manner. You did speak fondly of this dragon you met down in the sea, did you not?
Yes.
Have a thing for dragons, then?
I've been a worshipper of Bahamut since I was a young boy.
That makes sense. Yes, sounds very much like you are an Asimir, if you weren't aware of that already. At least a certain portion of your blood is, at least.
What's that?
Oh dear. Asimir are... You see, you're thinking for a moment. Gifted, I suppose, in a way. They are a race. One's born out of... well, angels and mortals intermingling a bit. Typically, when this happens, an Asimir is born, one that has celestial bloods running through their own, mixing with the mortal. Things like the wings that you talked of or spoke of appearing, and usually based off one's thoughts, emotions, inner desires, things that they strive to, in your case, Bahamut, cause this to happen.
All right, that's new information. Thank you very much. Do you also happen to be aware that there's a dragon already inside the city?
That seems unlikely.
That's what we thought, but there apparently is an ancient gold dragon inside the city.
Oh. Oh, very well. Where did you hear about this?
Does she seem surprised or confused?
Make an insight check.
Can I as well?
Yeah.
Lost somebody. Hold on
Yes,
just a
she is
second.
surprised and confused.
Okay, sorry, let me...
Video's
Like,
She-
as if she had no clue that was, as if
Is
she
she
had never
surprised
heard
that
of that
we
before.
know? Or
Yeah,
is
that's a better
she
question.
surprised
Sorry
that,
about
that
that,
like, is she surprised at the concept of a dragon being in the city, or is she surprised that we know about it?
When you asked, or when you said that there was a dragon in the city, and she said she finds that very unlikely, she seemed very certain of this fact, that it is very unlikely for a dragon to be here in Waterdeep. And as you said that there was an ancient one in there, she was very much, Jot especially, she seemed to be completely unaware of this fact.
That's what I was trying to, like, I didn't word my question very well. Okay.
We believe that... Well, we know that it has something to do with the previous Open Lord of the city.
That she thinks a moment, she kind of rolls her eyes, says, "Go on."
Have you heard of the horde of dragons that Neverember stole from the city?
I've heard rumors of this horde of dragons, yes. I assume they were a wild goose chase, a treasure hunt.
They very well may be, but it doesn't seem like that anymore. We know where the vault is, supposedly. And it is apparently being guarded by not only a very specific lock, but also by an ancient gold dragon.
With that, you see her thinking again as she molds over your words. And once again, if you're willing to tell me, where did you get this information? Can it be trusted?
Honestly, I don't know what can or can't be trusted in this fucking city anymore.
You learn fast, if nothing else. Well, that is an issue then. There should be no dragons at all within Waterdeep in any capacity. At least not on the surface.
This one would be under.
Oh.
It would have to be very, very under. We're talking levels down in Undermountain, hundreds of feet.
Mm.
If that's the case, then it's going to be very difficult to get there in the first place due to Undermountain. But if this place that you're talking about, where this horde is being hidden in, if there is a dragon there, there's only one way to be here, at least without something being off, and if there was something off with the ward around the city, I would know about it. So,
if the dragon were here before the wards were placed, would the wards still apply?
the dragon would have to be millennia old in that case.
I don't know how ancient dragons really are.
It's like 500 plus.
Okay.
They can live over like 1,000 years, but that's pushing it.
Okay.
This ward was long.
Yeah, I wasn't sure as far as history of the city, if like how long the wards have been. So okay.
Yeah, Vajra even says the ward, the dragon ward, as it's called, was put in place long, long ago when high magic was practiced still, before Mistress Fall, before all of those other things in our ancient stories have told us, before Waterdeep even existed or was even a thought in someone's mind. A man named Ageron puts a ward on the city, barring any dragons from appearing within it. That ward has not failed. It's saved us several times in the past, and just some years ago during the coup by the Cult of the Dragon. I have felt no change in that mythal as of late. So, I do know of one item that allows passage for a dragon within the city. And, despite some of my agent's best efforts, that item is, as of now, missing. So, it's possible.
Is that the item a stone by any chance?
She shakes her head. No, it's a staff.
Right. Do you have any, I can't... We would need an army if we had to fight an ancient dragon, which I can't imagine that's on the table, but do you have any tips, tricks, advice for us?
With that,
Guidance.
she sets herself, and you see her kind of setting the staff and, straight upright and everything. She's kind of squares her shoulders towards you. Says, if this horde that you're speaking of is guarded by an ancient dragon in my city, I'll give you more than advice. I'm going to take this under my wing. This is something that needs to be addressed immediately.
Well, we're trying to investigate a bit more. As you said, we don't know for sure that the information we have is accurate.
With that, she nods. Says, very well, very well. Just what I needed. More work on my plates. Very well. This is fine. Where is this? You said it was a vault? Where is it located? Do you plan on seeking it out, I suppose, is a more apt question.
We do.
Soon? Now? Tomorrow?
Within the next day or two, I believe. We're
Do not go after it without letting me know first.
Do you have a way we can contact you?
Who has that stone that you found on...
Jot does. Yeah, because you cast Detect Magic on it to see what kind of magic it was.
Yeah, the one you got from...
the one that it was the
Black.
looked like a rock.
The head.
And then, what's her name? Broke it up, and she was like, "Oh, it's just a sending stone or something, right?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe I have that.
Think you were the one, but I was making sure.
Yeah, it's the one that Viz kept on pulling out, saying, "I have the stone. It's
you
right
might
here."
have it. Actually, you might have it. Honestly.
He had it until you cast Detect Magic on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Up to you, Steve. If you kept it I would have given it back to you if you didn't ask for it back. Up to you.
You have it.
Okay, I have it then.
With that, she nods, and you see her hold up a similar stone. Says, I believe that you found one of these recently, based on my reports. Use that. It is attuned to this one. I was using it to spy on a black network agent that you happened to run into.
Oh, well that's...
The ones we
wondered-
killed.
Oh.
That she kind of shrugs. Doesn't matter.
Sorry for intruding on an investigation. That wasn't our intention. Things just keep happening, and we have to keep killing, and things keep trying to kill us, and it's been a really, really fucking stressful month.
That she looks at you very deadpan. Says, yes, I'm sure it's very stressful for you. Well, regardless, you have that in your possession. Reach out to me when you decide to venture to this Vault of Dragons. I will be sending backup. It's not to take away from your skills. I'm sure you're all very talented, and we've seen it in practice before with Lam as well as this dragon in the harbor. However,
We're not Ancient Gold Dragons Guild.
I'm glad you understand. So, please let me know. I have other pressing matters, but this has been moved up a bit with this recent information being gleaned to me, so I thank you for that. Yes, don't do anything foolhardy. This could be dangerous. And,
Us? Never.
yes.
Do I need a deception check for that, or is that
John
You
literally
aren't-
beside you.
I can't roll high enough.
She's just looking at you very deadpan, like, yes, you. Very well. Be on your way. Once again, do not go there without letting me know first.
How much time would you need to prepare help to go? If like a day, hour?
That she looks at you. You're not very familiar with Force Grey,
I'm not.
are you? I have powerful agents here at the city that will respond immediately at my call.
Oh, well, that's good to know.
Yes, especially if you do plan on doing business with us even further. You will need to know these things.
I think we would like that.
That she kind of scans the three of you and nods. Yes, I think all of you in becoming gray hens maybe one day would be interesting. But not today, that is for sure.
Oh, there was a shark in the harbor. It's dead now. It was a giant shark, and I think it could talk. It didn't speak a language. Talia, you talked to it, right? Does she have Discord back up? I don't. She may not actually have Discord up.
Guessing not. Yeah, it's still not working, it looks
Is it
like.
frozen if
Maybe.
Oh, there
Oh, no.
I couldn't hear you guys, so I was asking Steven what you guys were saying.
Aw.
But now it's unfrozen again.
Alright, so yeah.
So what did you ask?
Oh, I was just saying you talked to the shark and was giving if you wanted to tell her about the shark, you could.
The shark was an asshole. He was taken over by the people of the land. He was no longer an animal of the ocean.
Interesting. And this shark is dead, I presume?
Mm-hmm. Is it something about eating a skull?
Yeah,
from a
he ate-
wizard or something.
And then he got powers to communicate. Clear language, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah, Aquan.
I was like, I can't remember the language, even though it's on my sheet. I was like, crap, what was that language?
With that, she nods. Says, well, that is very interesting. I will file that away for a later date, I think. I think all of us have more pressing issues to worry about.
Just came to mind, so.
Well,
Jock
I
killed it.
appreciate the information.
They did with the submarine. So. All right. Well, we'll certainly let you know when we head that way. I think we still are trying to do a few more things first, but Thank you for your help.
As she nods, and you see her once again. She was, as you were talking, her face kind of went slack a bit, and her eyes kind of rolled back a bit, and she seemed to be shaking her head and nodded to you. Says, yes. I mean, yes. Thank you for bringing this information and being so forthright with me. I know this is the first time we've met, but I have been observing all of you for a bit of time now, a few weeks, days, a few days.
Yeah,
A week or so.
Good timeline.
Yeah. So I think I don't want to see any of you die. You have promise, I think. So again, let me know. I will help you on this, as it does need to be taken care of quickly.
Does she look like she's communicating mentally with someone when she keeps like? Does it look kind of like the way Rotar looked when she was talking to him just a minute ago?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell. She definitely seems distracted by something. Exactly what it is, it doesn't seem like she's being pained, like a sending spell or something like that's being sent to her, like you assume it happened with Rilatar. But definitely something seems to be catching her to where she kind of blanks out of the conversation for a moment and then speaks to you directly.
Okay. It's happened like a couple times, so curious.
And we're off.
So with that, Vajra nods to you, says, do be safe. Once again, please reach out. She kind of nods to you once again, kind of bowing to all three of you, and then turns around and starts walking back to her desk, seemingly just to dismiss you.
Okay.
All right, so as you're all preparing on where you're going to be heading next, Viz is in transit back to Trollskull Manor. Kai, did you have anything you were wanting to do while you were home alone?
Kai heading upstairs is going to take a couple minutes in meditation, and then with the stone in hand, gonna look at it and say, "All right, Aboleth, tell me what you know of this gate into the Vault of Dragons."
One second.
And
Gotta
I'm
prepare
going
myself
to
again.
Cast
Creepy voice.
Legend
This is also my favorite voice you've ever done, Havoc.
It's real rough to use.
Yeah.
So as you reach out with the, speaking out loud, but you can feel this connection with your mind, with the stone itself. You can it almost seems like the stone is, these three pearlescent eyes are staring at you as you speak to it. And once again, you hear this low, rumbling voice creeping through your mind. Wanting more information, yes. Well, what is it exactly that you want to know? Its construction? How long it's been there, perhaps? Something else?
Will the keys be consumed when they are used at the entry?
A brief pause, and then Golorr answers you. Says, "Not. Proximity is all that was required when Lord Neverember went there before. The keys seem to have changed. It's quite interesting, the magic used with that vault door, but being as I have seen it before and still have memory of it, I was able to know when the keys changed once again, but no, nothing was consumed the last time it was opened."
Very well. What happens to me when this is all over, Golorr?
Depends, really, on you, your friends.
I pass you on and you won't hurt me. You won't destroy my mind, as I feel you will already do.
Possibly. Possibly not. I've seen into your mind more deeply than most that I've come in contact with, as I allowed you to do so. And I have allowed you to see into mine, know my nature, what it is that I seek. You know that too. Knowledge. Provide that, and your mind may stay whole.
As I'm certain you have seen what it is that I desire as well.
Indeed. Lofty goals for someone so weak. As of now, though.
Time will tell, I suppose. Once we are inside, is this gold dragon worth speaking to? Will it consider our decision to take the dragons back?
There's another brief pause as Golorr seems to be thinking. The gold dragon, Arunax, as he is called, is, well, he's a gold dragon. He is good to a fault, but still a dragon, still hungry for gold, still wanting a horde to protect. He was employed by Dagult Neverember to do so for a payment of some jewels and such. Now, judging on his character, I could say, aside from what I know about most dragons of that color, they are impossibly patient. Talking may not be the worst thing to do, yes. Fighting it could be quite interesting, though.
Fighting would be certain death for us, and I believe you already know that.
As I said before to you and yours, smart, if nothing else.
Very well, so a discussion must be had with the gold dragon. We convince it that we just want the gold. And Kai's gonna stop and just kind of think a bit. And after a couple moments, he'll say, "The location of this vault, how far is it? Can you give us exact details, what we will expect when we get to it, or the entryway to reach the vault itself?"
As I told you before, there is a theater called the Pink Flumph. Ghastly name, really. But yes, in the back quarters, I couldn't tell exactly what it was around me, but there was a small room, and hidden within it, unbeknownst to most, there was a trap door. Down the ladder beyond the door, down the ramp, some 100 feet. There, you will find the doorway to the Vault of Dragons. It is not far. Just south of You feel that scraping sensation across your mind as it seems like Golorr is searching for information. Ah, yes. The markets in your castle ward, I believe, yes. Just south of there is where the theater lies. Look at the map, you'll see a blue dot, or blue pin, rather, marked just south of the market. And that'll be where the pink flump lies.
Very well, Golorr. Well, hopefully we'll gather everybody here, have a discussion about what we're going to do, how we're going to approach this. What happens when we find it? What happens with you? Do you move on? Do you stay with me?
I see things that I have not seen before happening while accompanying you and friends. For now, at least.
There is much you could learn from me. More than you could imagine.
I doubt that.
With that, Kai's going to kind of place a stone on the floor in front of him and just return to meditation for a while.
After gleaming some more information from the Stone of Golorr, you're able to once again learn exactly its location as far as the vault, as well as some of his insight. Once again, Kai, you've been able to see into this thing's mind as it peered into yours more deeply, and you learned some information about it. Namely, that this thing was at one time an aboleth, an alien aberration creature that has been sealed within the stone. Some information it does still block from you. Tell these mental barriers within it that it definitely knows more than it lets on, whereas sometimes, even as you try, it's able to gleam things in your mind that you want to keep protected as well. But here or there. You know a lot about each other now. About 30 minutes or so after Viz and Nim took off from the House of Inspired Hands, you arrive back at Trollskull Manor. Anything y'all two would like to do, or are you just chilling at the tavern for right now?
I think at least Viz, because Risk said to meet them at the yawning portal. So let's see if Kai wants to go with them or if he still feels more comfortable staying in the house. But Viz will definitely want to go meet up with Risk and Talia and Jot at the yawning portal.
Are you?
But I need to leave Nim here.
Are you kind of walking in and going to check on Kai and ask?
Well, like I'd bring in Viz. Viz would bring in Nim and be like, "Kai, I'm here. Look, this is Nim. He's a sentient construct. He's gonna join us on our adventure." Kai!
You're muffled screaming from down below you.
He'll eventually make his way down, kind of hearing it and kind of interrupting the meditation. He'll stop and look around for a second and reach down and grab the stone in hand and head back downstairs.
Alright. A couple minutes after you call out Viz, you see the front door opening to the tavern and Kai walking in.
Nim, this is Kai. He's also one of our friends. He is half-elf royalty. So I think we bow a little bit and do like a little bow. And like he's really, really important where he's from, but it's really far away. But anyway, Kai, this is Nim. We told you about him before. He said he's going to join us on our adventure. And if you can tell, he's a robot. He's a construct. And he's sentient. And look, he's got this really cool detachable sword on his leg.
Kai will look at Nim and kind of bow his head a little bit and say, well, it is good to have you with us. But I assume that you're here because you need to stay safe. Is that correct?
Me?
No, not you. Him.
Oh yeah. Also, he can't talk.
Yeah.
Sorry, forgot to say that.
No, that's...
I brought him here because I didn't want to be like walking around the streets. Actually, I taught him how to skip. It was adorable. I didn't want him to be seen on the streets and people to be giving us weird looks. And I wanted to check on you, see how you were doing. The stone still creeps me out, and I don't like leaving you alone with it. But I just wanted to make sure you were okay. Risk told me to meet him and Talia and Jot at the Yawning Portal. Do you want to go with?
Yes. And if you do not believe that it's safe for Nim to go out into the streets, well, Lif, would you mind watching over our new construct friend?
Neither one of them can.
Yeah, my gods, I forgot. Nim, this is Lif. Lif, this is Nim. Nim, this is Lif. He used to own this building. It used to be this like amazing tavern, and Lif used to run it. But then he died. I'm not sure how he died, but he's an elf. And when we first met him, he tried to like throw chairs at us and stuff. But anyway, we're really cool now, and Lif's super awesome. And he lets us live here because we're turning the tavern into this awesome place. Oh my god, do you know what a tavern is, Nim? A tavern is where people go to drink alcohol and wine, and they talk with their friends.
Viz keeps rambling on. You see Nim and Lif turn towards each other and are kind of looking. Lif kind of floating way, kind of above and kind of sinks down a bit. His, feet and such kind of sinking into the floor as he gets eye level with Nim. Then you see Nim looking up and down, kind of tilting his head to the side, and he holds up a fist from what Viz had taught him.
Yeah.
You see Lif doing the same and kind of tilting his head and passes. You see Nim's hand passing through and then coming back out and then click, 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 and Lif kind of.
I've never been more happy in my entire life.
You see Lif kind of with this facial expression of looking very unsure, but just kind of nods and looks down at Nim and then floats back over to the counter and starts cleaning again.
Okay, Nim, don't leave here. Please, for the love of all of the gods and all of the realms, just stay here. We have some employees. You know what? I'm going to take you up to our rooms. I'm going to take them upstairs, not in the tavern area. And I'm going to introduce them to all the puppies.
All right. So you're going to leave Nim upstairs with the puppies, Lif to overwatch him with orders to keep Nim here, I'd assume?
Yes.
Pretty please.
And then afterwards, after he's kind of escorted Nim upstairs, Kai will kind of walk up to Viz and say, all right, so we have the construct. What is the current lead? Or where are the others headed? You said they're headed towards
The Yawning Portal.
Yawning Portal?
Because I think we want to talk to Jalster and Neverember if they're there, and Durnan. There's a couple of people we want to talk to. And then we'll head south and we'll look for Heldar. Or if we're lucky, maybe Heldar will be at the Yawning Portal. That's really far north from where he normally is, but we're going to go there. And then once we have Heldar, I think our goal is tomorrow. I think we're going to try and go to the Pink Flump.
All right. Are we giving away too much information already, or should we gather them here and give the information to them?
I've given away very little information. It was really easy with Valetta. I was like, hey, we think we are going to go on this quest and we need a construct. And she was like, okay. And then I was like, we're just going to take them and leave. And she was like, okay. And yeah, it was great. I have no idea what Jot and Talia and Risk are doing now. But I think we should just try and get as many people to meet us at the theater tomorrow, probably.
All right. I think my only concern is I want to make sure that everybody is on the same page, especially considering that we're dealing with different organizations within the city. They may not want to work together.
I think Nim's like an independent contractor. I don't think he has much say in the matter, but yeah, we'll have to see what the Black Staff people said.
Yeah. Perhaps Kai's gonna kind of stop and think and say, It's fine. It'll benefit you to know that at least you will not be consumed whenever we go into the gate.
Awesome. I really didn't want to be consumed. That's one thing I've really started to value that I didn't have like a whole bunch of like value of before was like my own life. I think I kind of like it, and I think I might want to keep it.
Having a value of your own life is important. It's very important.
It's a new feeling. I'm not 100% comfortable with it yet. I'm still trying to really understand it.
Yeah, you'll get used to it after a while.
Yeah, self-preservation's weird.
It's very weird. All right, let's head to the yawning portal.
I live for Kai and Viz's interactions.
It's so good every time.
Hey, you're not gonna die once we go to this place.
Don't worry, we
Awesome.
won't kill you. You're going to stay alive.
So much.
All right.
I wonder, like, I want to get a timer on the longest you guys let me vamp as Viz. Like, what's the longest let me ramble on?
I can
It's the
tell
nut
when it, like the
cheese.
third or fourth
It's the
pause,
nut
I'm like,
cheese.
all right.
No.
And the funniest thing is Kai's gonna just sit there and go, yep, yep, yep. And he's not like rude enough to be like, all right, Viz, shut the fuck up, we gotta go.
God,
Steven can ramble as kids.
Nim, do you know what a tavern is? Nim, do you know what a ghost is? Oh my god, let me teach you
as the
everything.
scene switches over to the other body. What is the plan for Talia, Risk, and Jot? Where are y'all headed next?
Yawning portal. We'll wait for Viz.
Okay, so everybody's meeting. All right. So with that happening, Viz and Kai setting off, leaving Nim at the manor with Lift to watch over him and the puppies to entertain him. Because it seems like he's never met them or seen puppies before, so you see him kind of gently petting them under your instructions and such, and kind of sitting there and letting them jump all over him and stuff as y'all get ready to leave. Everyone starts heading down towards the yawning portal. Talia, Risk, and Jot getting there a bit earlier, able to sit down and get your table and such, and then 15-20 minutes or so go by before the rest of your group arrives. And that is where we'll resume after we go ahead and take our 5-minute break.
Yay. All right, so 5-minute break, guys. When we get back, everybody is going south to the yawning portal. I'll go ahead and move us over here. Yeah, when we get back, we'll talk about everything that has happened, the gift subs and all of that, and continue our session. So don't go anywhere.
Alrighty, so with everybody getting into the yawning portal, find the right level for this. There we go. Been a while since we used this. Alright, so as you all move in, you see the yawning portal. Even though it's quite early, there actually isn't a lot of singing and stuff this morning. It's still pretty early. Yeah, not a lot of drinking happening. You see a lot of people here sitting around eating breakfast and such. You see a few adventurers here and there, but otherwise it seems pretty normal, but a little bit more tame than you've seen it compared to the evening crowd. You're able to find your place, your table that always seems magically available to you down here in the bottom left of the portal. You're looking around. Not all who you were expecting are here. You do see Jallister is present off to your east, over sitting to another couple guards. At this point, you assume they're probably Lord's Alliance members that help him keep tabs on this place. You see none of the Zentarum agents you've come to know be here most of the time seem to be present, as well as Raynar. Is also not present here as you glance around. Lots of different faces, but not necessarily the ones you were looking for. What do you want to do?
Who's the blue chick and the fiery red guy?
Oh, sorry. Seems to be a priest of some kind, the blue. You see kind of holy garb and such on her. It's hard to tell exactly which god she seems to be a worshipper of. Fiery dude's just another dude, long black wavy hair and such on him.
God, he's so dramatic.
Oh, Seamus is magically back, guys. He's here. Yay! He's
And he flies into the fireplace.
And he
Damn it,
internally
James.
combusts. And
Oh no.
I
feathers
forgot he
everywhere.
died. And
Yeah.
then
Poof.
He's
when
not-
Viz was walking back, I was like, oh, maybe Seamus should go with him. And Stephen's like, he died. I was
so
like,
many times I've been like,
That's right.
oh.
Is the number one waitress in all of Faerun here?
As you all sit down, you see Bonnie walking up next to all of you and looking around. Says, good to see all of you. Nice to see you as well. What can I get for you?
Hi, Bonnie. It's been
Hi,
like 2
Viz.
days since we've seen you. How have your days
It
been?
has.
Do you do
Same old,
anything
same old.
interesting? Anything?
Not really, no.
How are
Kind
your
of boring
sisters?
life being a waitress. Pretty good.
We're going on an adventure.
As adventurers do.
This one's like a big one though.
Oh.
Vaguely gestures.
You see you're kind of like waiting to see if you're going to explain more or not.
Viz, we're not talking about the adventure.
Kai says I'm not talking about the adventure, but we do want to talk. We're going to talk to Durnan about it later. How's his mood today? Like normal grumpy, higher than average grumpy. Dare I say maybe a good mood?
With that, she kind of glances over her shoulder and shrugs. Same old for the most part.
So a little grumpy.
Little grumpy, yes.
Okay. I will have just water, please.
Water, coffee, breakfast, anyone?
Breakfast
that's right.
sounds wonderful.
That's what I meant. If I could have some coffee, that would be amazing.
Some coffee and some nut cheese.
Coffee. Let's do it, y'all.
And some milk.
Some
Can
And
I-
milk?
Can we have some
Milk?
Milk?
Some milk.
Cassie, will you say milk, please?
I don't know what that is.
There's no milk in the ocean.
All right. So with that, Bonnie takes all of your orders and
Can I get
heads
some
off to
liquor
the
in my
exits.
coffee?
I'm just wine.
Regular coffee, then. Got it.
Yes.
All right. So she puts your order in. Goes back to helping out the other patrons and such. What do you want to do?
So,
We'll catch Kai and Viz up.
yeah. Tell him everything that we told. Everything that happened with Thaletta. Although I think no, you already would have told him about that. So, just everything with Vajra then.
Guys, Nim and Lif are becoming friends. I got them to do the fist bump thing that I've been trying to get you guys to do with me. Nim and Lif did it. Yeah. It was amazing.
Is that a
Um,
changeling thing?
It's just what I think cool people do. I'm trying to start the trend. Like, not a lot of people have been into it yet, but I'm trying to make it a thing.
Okay.
Are we still planning to bring everybody to Troll Skull to discuss it? Going to the vault.
I'm not sure. Like when we talked to Vajra about it, she was just like, "Yeah, just let me know and we'll help you." She didn't really like ask us to like pay anything or.
I have
Didn't
more
really-
concerns about the other individuals that we are including in this. If we're gathering a bunch of random groups of people together to take care of this, I have a feeling this may strain relationships if they're not already strained. So my concern is getting them together and making sure that we're not going to run into any issues when we go into the vault.
Well, the only faction we've talked to so far are the Greyhounds.
I
And
was
then
thinking worry about the dragon, honestly.
yeah, and we were planning on talking to Jalister, who's part of the Lord's Alliance. And I imagine where they both have a hand in protecting the city, they're probably on the same page.
Is there a way that we can convince them to all sit together in the same room to make sure there's not going to be any problems when we go into the vault?
I don't think we can get the Greyhounds until it's time to go. They seemed incredibly busy.
So I don't like. We're not aware of any sort of like tensions. Like, I mean, do we have any sort of sense of any tensions between Grey Hands and the Lord's Alliance? I mean, they both protect the city. Do they?
None that you've noticed, no.
Yeah, they seem. I haven't noticed any. If we're trying to get the Zentarum and
That might be another story.
the
Harper's.
Harpers, that would probably be a problem. But it seems like the Zentarum are kind of all getting arrested.
So I kind of feel like Kai's looking at this in a manner of, we just need to make sure that every single group that we're inviting is on the same page. We don't want them coming in and then trying to twist the story on us later and saying, you promised us this. Or when we get to the vault, one group is like, oh, you promised us this one thing, and then one group's like, wait, you didn't tell us any of this.
Yeah. I mean, we
Well,
haven't
we-
promised
So-
We
anyone
haven't promised
anything.
anything yet.
Yeah,
Right.
all we said was
Right,
there's
but
a dragon, and they're like, we'll help you. That's all that's happened so far.
right, but if we're talking about rewarding those who were going to come and help us, as we were in RP chat where we were trying to discuss what we were going to do, we need to bring them together. Everybody, not just one or two that might have a problem. We need to pull them all together so everybody's on the same page.
I think we need to switch up our tactics. I don't think we should be inviting people who only went in for the reward. I think we should invite
Well,
people.
no
who-
one's mentioned a reward. Yet.
Right.
Right.
That's the thing.
And so if we invite 4 people and 2 people are like, well, we'll do it for reward, then let's not invite those 2 people.
Right.
Let's invite the people who want to do it for the good of the city.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Side note for everybody. Everybody give me history checks.
Okay.
This is in regards to the Lord's Alliance and Force Grey.
Oh no!
no pressure, Kai.
It looks like none of us read.
Okay, that's roll.
Above 12.
All right, so Jot and Kai hit a 10 on this.
Okay.
You know that Force Grey and the Lord Alliance are interconnected to a degree. They are led by different leaders. Force Grey is led by the Open Lord of Waterdeep, Laeral Silverham. Force Grey, obviously, by Vajra. You do know that Force Grey does sometimes act at the Open Lord's request, as it is a faction that is here within Waterdeep and falls under her jurisdiction, or any Open Lord's jurisdiction. So you know that if Force Grey knows about this, you're assuming soon, or at some point, the Lord's Alliance is going to know about it as well.
It seemed like they would be organizations that would be.
They're
like-minded
both, yeah,
to
they're
a
both,
certain degree.
you know, kind of lawful good or whatever organizations that are out to keep Waterdeep safe.
I think most of this is just me out of character going, project management, you need to get all of these motherfuckers together and talk about this to make sure they're all on the same page and they don't try to turn this on us later. So, but
see,
if
my
you guys
thought is,
are
like,
okay with it, then
We don't really have any power over these people.
No, we don't.
They
But
kind of owe us a little bit just because we've been working for them.
right, but more of but that was kind of what we were discussing in
Yeah,
the RP chat, is just getting them together. Even if it was wine and dine them, get them together and say, hey, by the way, this is our business proposal. What do you think? You gonna come and help us?
Yeah.
And get everybody on
I
that
get the
same page.
impression from Vajra, and this is more so out of character, that they're fucking busy and she's not gonna come have dinner because she's really busy.
I mean, she told us, when you're ready to go, call me.
Yeah, just be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll help you.
All right.
Go for it. I'm really worried about this dragon, so
Yeah,
I
that's
think
fine.
that I mean we totally did talk about this. It just seems like as far as how it's playing out, I
It's
don't
not
think
how
playing
I
out how we
pictured
expected
it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
So
People apparently also want to do good things for the city. They're just very agreeable, I guess. And hopefully, if we get enough really strong people and there are issues, the strong people will all battle it out while we just sneak out the back.
We just take all the gold and fucking.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
we're gonna-
Let's just leave with our lives and be thankful.
We'll carry everything we can physically carry. It's not gonna be much.
and maybe
Alright.
we can just be like, hey dragon, this gold was all stolen, so
Well,
can we
but
have
also the dragon is there because it was paid to be there, if we outpay that debt to them,
I don't
maybe
think
we
we
can
have
convince
that
it to
kind of
leave.
money. But I imagine Forgebreaker
from that,
and
but
Yeah.
we can
Free
get it
beer.
from the loot that's within the chambers, and
Yeah.
say
feel
take
like we
this
take the
with
horde
you.
and offer-
I feel like paying a
Take some
dragon
off
with
the
the gold that it's guarding is a little
But
sketchy.
it's only guarding it. It's not that dragon's horde. It's guarding it. That's it.
Oh, that's a
You
good
see
point.
what I'm saying?
Right,
It's
yeah,
only
yeah.
guarding it. So if you give it some of it and say this can be your personal horde to take with you, maybe
then I feel like
it'll.
it would
But
be
what
like-
happens in the mind the dragon claimed it? And he's like, it's already mine. These
Well,
fools
it
think
is
it's theirs.
It is a good. I mean,
Yeah.
hypothetically, the gold dragon is a
You
good.
cannot judge a dragon by its race.
You can't.
And assume just because of its color, it's good.
Just
All right.
doing
Fine.
that is fine.
Biz is
So,
going to
Alright.
wait for an
Back to
opportunity to go up and talk to Durnan at the bar.
You see him not super busy. He usually is like the one bartending for the most part, taking care of people ordering beer and such. Not a lot of that happening this morning. He's just kind of standing there watching. Every once in a while, you see him watching as a couple of adventurers are lowered down into the well here. He pays attention to them, then goes back to cleaning his glass. Seems pretty open. Everybody give me perception checks, though.
Are the people going down the hole willingly?
Yeah, they're hopping up
Okay.
on the thing and celebrating.
being
You see.
shoved down.
They're like, good luck, adventurer.
Just Sparta kicks.
You see a couple, like I said, this group of adventurers going down, and you see a few people standing here and there. They're kind of like taking bets on them and such. It's a normal practice here in the Yawning Portal. Talia's focused on something else, food or water or something. Everyone else, you see.
I'm judging
a man.
Bonnie.
Judging Bonnie.
Fucking body.
Okay. You see a man as he walks forward. He was kind of quiet as he moved forward, but you see that he's wearing like this large buffeted kind of armor. You can see kind of dents through it, leather straps covering or holding it together. These pauldrons and such going down his arms, and as he moves forward, you see him kind of hooked both of his thumbs into the chest piece as he moves forward. Some of you have seen this man before, but aren't really familiar with him.
Is this the one that I know? I think this is the guy I know, right? Is this Hang on.
I don't remember who
Moon
everybody picked.
Wardragon?
That was a lot. Yes.
That's who I picked.
Yeah.
That's who I picked. I'm
You
using
know
that
who?
for-
Yeah, you've talked to Maloon before.
Yeah.
So you recognize Maloon Wardragon walking forward. As he moves up, once again, this somewhat handsome man, a little bit older in his years, but kind of got that grizzled look about him. As he moves forward towards all of you, kind of standing up, he kind of lingers for a moment as all of you are discussing amongst yourselves, and then he kind of clears his throat.
More dragon. How are you? I haven't seen you in like a month or something.
Yes, I've been busy, unfortunately.
Did all those documents work out fine that I was scribed for you?
Yes, they did. Thank you very much, as does Force Grey. That is why I'm here today, actually. Vajra reached out to me, said that you had a bit of an adventure you were going to be setting off on here shortly.
We're not entirely sure when we'll be doing it, but yes, we did talk to her about that. Were you one of the people she was going to send to help us?
Yes, I am the person she has sent to help you.
Oh, singular person. Okay, all right. We thought it was.
You won't date more than me.
I like him.
I do remember your self-confidence. It was
Very.
great.
That he
yes,
just,
it's
once again, this
strong.
very simple, confident smile.
Who are we supposed to contact with the sending stone then?
Her.
Vajra.
To let her know to send the guy that's already with us.
To send this guy.
Insight
probably
check. I don't
just
believe
like-
him. This is a setup. He's a plant.
Yeah, make him
Mr.
insight check if
Wardragon
you
is
want
a very nice man. How dare you do this?
As you're looking at him, standing there, he seems very confident in that, and he looks over, and as he looks at you, he sees you searching, kind of looking into him. He looks over and he says, did she do the thing again where she tells you one thing and then does another?
No, the black staff would never do that.
Are we talking about the same woman?
I don't know. I didn't meet her actually.
Ah, yeah, Vajra does that sometimes. She's calculating, I suppose. Likes to cover all of her bases. She reached out to me just a few minutes ago, actually. I just happened to be here and see you. When you wandered in here into the portal, said that I should be seeking you out at my earliest convenience, and, well, this was convenient.
With my 13 insight, how good of a dragon slayer does he appear to be? Though he is handsome and charming, and albeit a little bit old, do I feel like he could slay a dragon?
As you're looking at him, he's wearing, this pretty decent, a little bit beat up and such, definitely seen battle. So you think that he's at least a competent warrior, saying he's alive and does not have a bunch of scars on his face. You see, however, there is this large battle axe strapped to his hip. You see that it is blue in its coloration, almost not. You can definitely tell it's like steel or some kind of metal like that, but it's almost crystalline in its appearance. Even from your proximity, not holding it, not touching it, just looking at this weapon, it seems magical. It seems powerful. As far as dragon slaying, it might help.
Is it an axe of dragons? I'm kidding.
Stained in the blood of many dragons. Cool. Well, if you want to... Well, hold on, I guess. Talking to the group. The plan is to go tomorrow morning, right? Like, tonight was recruitment night, and we're going to go to the Pink Flump in the morning?
That's
And I think you said you were gonna make everyone cookies of his. As
I
a
will.
thank you.
I will certainly try. But we were going to try
I
and
love
go
cookies.
tomorrow. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We are leaving in the morning.
Excellent.
How do you feel with the Lord's Alliance?
Mostly good people, I suppose.
And the Harpers.
I prefer more of a straightforward approach myself instead of the, information gathering. I think that's what they do. Yes, they have their uses, I suppose, but not very good in a fight.
Very well.
So, like, do you want to meet us at the Pink Flump tomorrow morning?
Sure, if that's our destination, I'm assuming.
It is indeed.
Excellent. Well, I will meet you there.
Do you do you want to fight a dragon, or do you more inclined to talk to the dragon?
I'd
She mentioned
prefer.
the dragon.
She did. I don't see that being possible based on what I know, but I am just a good warrior, I suppose. Me and Azure Edge here as he kind of pats the great axe by his side.
Azure Edge, nice.
With that, he
'Cause
looks
it's
as
blue.
Yeah.
I'd prefer not to fight one. I'm not stupid. I
Just
wouldn't be
making
alive
sure
if I
we're in
was.
agreement there. Yep. I don't want to either.
But if there is one present, then I'll be glad that I have all of you along.
I feel like your surname just really screams Dragon Slayer, so I kind of just assumed you were a slayer of dragons. War Dragon is just a pretty dramatic name, and I felt like, if anything in life, you probably warred on some dragons.
That he thinks, as I've fought a couple in my day. The name is, just a family name. Does impress some of the ladies, I suppose, but not really something I seek out very often if I can help it. Dragons are dangerous. I hope you all know that. Powerful creatures.
Very
Yeah.
I've only met one, and he was just the nicest.
I could call him a friend.
Very well. I've met ones that were not so nice. Yeah. Could tell you
Alright,
some
well-
stories.
I love
Then,
stories.
Unless you want to talk to us about anything else.
That he kind of shrugs, says, Pink Flump, tomorrow morning. That's good enough for me.
All right. Well, it's good to see you again. I'm glad that you're doing well and stuff.
Yes, as it was good to see you as well, Jimlin. I bid you all a good day. I will see you bright and early in the morning as we go chase this dragon that I've heard so much about, or Well, so little. Roger did seem a bit upset, though. Unlike her. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But he kind of bows over, his armor kind of clinking and such. And he nods to all of you and then heads out of the yawning portal.
All right then.
This
You guys were gonna go talk to Durnan. I believe was what we were.
this doesn't feel concerning to any of you.
Yeah, I think I'll
Not
probably
really.
still message Vajra and just like make sure this is what she was meaning to do, just to like make sure.
I'm more concerned for our own safety. If too many people know that we are going to the Pink Flump by morning, then there's nothing stopping any potential attackers from meeting us there before we even get to the vault. Or cutting off those that are going to get there ahead of us.
No one else has the keys, though, or knows what the keys are.
They don't need the keys. They are waiting for the stone that will give them the information that they need to get inside.
But we don't need the stone anymore, right? Once we're there and we have the keys, we don't need anything else from the stone, right?
The stone can tell them everything they need. That's the point. If they get there, if any of our adversaries, anybody that has been opposing us, such as the Xanathar, gets there before we do, they can take out all of those that are going to go in with us. Or they meet us as we appear there, take the stone, find out what it requires to get inside, and then do so themselves. But that obviously means that they're going to kill us in the process.
That's a very good point. I think tonight, before we make our adventure in the morning, you should go hide the stone somewhere. And not bring it with us. Because you're right, if they set up a trap for us, and they kill us, which would just be the worst, because I really want to live, at least they wouldn't get the stone.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Okay. A little bit confused here. I feel like you just said if they got the stone, that'd be bad. We're definitely going to be there with the stone.
We are.
Wouldn't not being there with the stone be best?
Not a possibility.
You're going to have to elaborate a little bit more.
I can't leave the side of this stone. It must stay with me at all times.
So
Constantly don't
you're
want to.
possessed by it.
I'm not possessed.
You lost your choice of free will,
I have free will.
but you can't choose to leave it.
I just choose not to leave it behind. If I do, then bad things are going to happen to me.
Dear God, being a bard of lore and things, I like to know things. Does this sound like anything I would have heard of? Because this sounds a lot to me like he doesn't have free will. It's like, oh, I could leave it if I want to, but I can't.
I can quit anytime I want.
Does this sound like any sort of magic I know?
Make a Arcana or History check.
Could I just persuade you to tell me? I'm better at that.
Sure, you roll your dice and I'll roll mine. See who's higher.
Aww.
With an 11, you know that there's lots of magical items. That's very common knowledge in this world. You know that magical items sometimes have different benefits, sometimes different drawbacks. Sometimes they're even cursed, and this could be bad. And a lot of times these curses don't fully reveal themselves until you get attuned with an object. It does seem like, as far as what you can perceive or what your natural insight is regarding Kai's still speaking normally. He still seems like he's all there, but
He's not using creepy, deep, terrifying voice.
And he's also been very plain about it. He said he could leave it behind, but that's a bad idea. A very, very,
No,
very
you
bad
said he
idea.
couldn't. He's like, I can't. I was like, you can't? He's like, can't do that.
As a in character, no, he cannot. He will be no benefit to you.
Right, so he wasn't saying, I'm not going to. He's like, I cannot. So it's like, I cannot be separate from this thing.
Correct.
He's also extremely paranoid about losing it. So I think you have a alien inside you.
Alien has abducted you.
Okay, well, that's my bad, because I've definitely been telling people where we're going. So, because I thought they were going to help us.
This is the first time we've told anyone where we're going.
Second
Yeah.
time.
I also said it out loud in a bar, though.
Didn't you tell, well, Kai wouldn't know, but didn't you tell Valletta?
Mm-mm.
Vajra?
No.
You
no, we
told
didn't tell
Vajra.
Valletta. No,
You definitely
we didn't say-
told
we didn't say where.
Vajra that you were going.
We did not say pink flump at any point to Vajra.
Viz has definitely said pink flump out loud in a bar
like 20 times.
to a person he never met.
Biz put it on an airplane, had it drive, fly over town.
I don't really think that bad guys would want to come murder us, so I'm definitely going to go try and get more recruitments now and just hope that we have more good guys
More
than they
people.
do bad guys.
We just need to
walk up
outnumber
to
them. It's
random
fine.
people.
What's
We're
that?
gonna outnumber them.
What is it? West Side Story? What's the thing? We're going to have like, yeah.
The
We're
snap
gonna
fight.
have we're going to have a snap fight. Well,
no,
then.
we did not say that to Vajra at any point.
Okay, I
She might
thought
have
you
mind
guys.
read us. Who knows? I don't know what she
Yeah.
can do. She can speak into our minds. Maybe she can read our minds too. But we did not say that to her.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's see if Durnan wants to come. Hey, Risk, you can come talk to Durnan with me, right?
Do you want to
Yeah.
break Yagra out of jail?
Hey, Durnan, do you have a minute where we could talk?
You see him cleaning his glass as you walk up to the bar next to him, and he kind of looks up at you.
Hey, you seem extra chipper today.
Maybe
Did
we
you
have
get
to go.
You get a
Maybe we
haircut?
have to go to him. We might have to go talk to him. I don't think he's going to come to us.
I'm saying this as I'm approaching. I don't want to there's not room for you and I to stand side by side, so I'm not moving my token.
We'll stand up at the end.
Okay, thanks,
There.
thanks,
Speaking
Look
ladies.
at all
Behind the
these. Look at all these seats that magically appear.
Turner just looks at them and they leave.
Mm.
You get a haircut, Durnan? You look good.
What do you want?
Well,
I love Durnan so much.
have you heard the rumor of the previous Open Lord Neverember having a horde of dragons? You've heard that story?
Nope.
That's the story. It's the thing. And apparently, all those dragons were embezzled funds stolen from the citizens of Waterdeep. And I got the feeling that you would be interested in righting that wrong and helping us undo the wrongdoings upon the fine citizens of the city.
At that, you see Durnan kind of stopping, cleaning his glass, and you see him raising an eyebrow and kind of looking a bit confused.
Your
What?
customers, your patrons, your people that have been robbed by the previous Open Lord, we have a chance to fix that.
See him looking over, and there's like a lockbox on a panel back behind him, and you see it's partially open, and there's like silver and copper and such sitting in it. They seem to be doing all right.
Well, I once saw you chop a troll in half, and you extinguished a whole bunch of gust with a swipe of your sword. Would you come help protect us in case we have to fight a dragon? Specifically, an ancient gold dragon. While we try and undo wrongs that have been fallen upon Waterdeep.
You broke the DM. Yes.
Trying to stay in character here.
No one can be that grumpy at Biz for that long. It's impossible.
You see Durnan still straight face. He kind of peers around you, looking around. You see him looking at the well here in the middle. No dragon here.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's in a vault with a ton of gold pieces.
Not interested.
Okay. Bonnie's the best waitress you've ever had. I'm just gonna walk away.
Goes back to cleaning his glass.
Risk is going to look at him and say, "Not today." but someday I'm going to challenge you to a fight.
That you see him stopping and slowing a bit, and he looks up at you. You'll lose.
Probably. You're just going to walk away.
What a great opportunity to just look up Havoc and say, not interested. Just rinse and repeat the same thing. One day, I'm going to prove to you how strong I am. Not interested.
Alright, so Durnan's definitely in.
He unfortunately has prior obligations and will not be able to accompany us on our quest.
Did you ask, please?
He likes this bar, doesn't he?
I did not ask, please. It took everything in me to not break down and cry out of fear.
Should I go try and ask, please?
No.
You just-
he might.
Did
he
I
might.
hear you challenged him to a fight?
Someday down the road, yeah.
Then no, you're not going to ask him. Yes, did you ask him, please?
I did not say please, but I tried really hard to appeal to what I thought would be like his morale, his dedication to his patrons and the area around him. I never said please specifically, but he was just like nah, not interested.
Kai would like to stand up and walk over to the bar.
You're not tough enough to fight a dragon.
And he's going to literally walk up to the bar and say, I don't think you have it in you to defend the city of Waterdeep.
We're gonna get kicked out of this fucking bar.
You see just a slight raise of his eyes. He looks up towards you and then shakes his head and says, "You're right."
Okay, that tells me everything I need to know. Thank you very much. All
Why
the
do you think he
prestige
retired?
that would have occurred and all of the glory that would have been had everybody known that it was Durnan that slayed the ancient gold dragon below the depths of Waterdeep. And Guy starts walking away.
As you're trailing off and moving down, you start to think to yourself, yes, Durnan, the man who came back from Undermountain.
Yes.
With riches
Yep.
and wealth and all these stories, and one of the most famous adventurers in all of Waterdeep, has the most prominent tavern in all of Waterdeep, and you're trying to goad him into fighting an ancient dragon.
Yes. It's like,
We're trying here.
We're trying. We're doing everything we can because we
Y'all
fucking
remember
need this
that-
guy.
Y'all remember that thing where it's like, why do all adventurers have tragic backstories? Because nobody happy goes on adventures.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Durnan.
Yeah. Did you ever see the show Entourage? They're talking about one of the characters, and you're like, do you know him? Yeah, he joined the Marines at 18 years old. He came from a well-off family. Do you know why he joined the Marines at 18 years old when his family had money? Because he said he wanted to know what it felt like to kill someone.
Yeah, man, that's dark.
Yeah, that's Durnan.
If we kill Bonnie, do you think Durnan will want to come with us?
No,
Not
he'll
an
want to
option.
kill us.
This is like, no.
Want to go on an
That shit down now.
adventure?
No.
No.
Viz, you should invite Bonnie over tonight. Like, tomorrow might be our last day on this planet.
Stark on.
Should I get like a really good night's sleep? I can't spend up all night talking.
I wasn't talking about talking.
What are you talking about?
Kai's gonna just look over at Risk and just be like, now's not the time. I don't want to have the talk with Viz, okay?
I just feel like when we have a really big day tomorrow, then we should probably like get like a lot of sleep and stuff. Like we shouldn't have guests over. I don't want to have to.
Oh,
clean
you're
the
having
house.
a big day tomorrow. That's good to hear.
Speaking
Adventure
of,
you were talking about, as Bonnie walks over, arms full of plates of food and drinks and stuff that she's coming to refill, sets them
Risk
on
told me to
tables.
invite you over tonight.
speaking,
Of course he did.
I
I don't think it's gonna be my last night here, but he said I should invite you tonight because it'd be my last night. Like, why would that?
no,
I don't understand.
Risk's gonna look at Kai, just ignoring. Goes, listen, my boy can't die a virgin.
Maybe he can, and he probably still will. Unfortunately.
Thankfully, being a changeling, Biz does not blush. Like, he looks physically uncomfortable. He's like, You want me to have sex with Bonnie? Oh, Bonnie, I'm not ready for that.
Oh, here we go.
I love you, but I can't do that. No,
This is going way too fast for me, okay?
They've known each other for like 3
We've
days.
known each other
Is this
for
why
like
you
a
told me
week.
to
Hold
give her
on.
money earlier in the week too?
With that, you see Bonnie kind of setting everything down, and she just shakes her head. You see a bit of a grin on her face as she's looking all you, Risk and Kai, like losing their minds, kind of trying to contain laughter. Risk failing completely. Viz freaking out a bit, and Bonnie just kind of pats his shoulder and says, "Oh, don't worry. That's not gonna happen. You haven't even taken me on a proper date yet, so, yeah. Sorry to ruin your plans there, Risk."
Looks over at
Fuck.
Risk.
It's not a cheap date, man.
Kai looks over at Risk and says, I told you.
Fuck, how long does it take you people to have sex after a date? Usually I have sex
hasn't had a
before the
date.
date.
We've never had a date.
He hasn't had a date.
Neither have I!
Yes, but
You
you
he's
see-
not
dates,
paying
though,
for
You
it
see
either.
Bonnie kind of washing her hands off with her cloth as you say that, Risk, and says, "That explains so much."
Oh no.
Yes.
I feel like both myself and Risk are being attacked right now.
Yes, I think that's accurate. I'll just because Bonnie kind of pats Biz's hand out, pat back, be like, "Thank you for standing up to me." He's so mean. I need to experience life at my own pace, and I don't want to be so. What's the term? Slutty? Like really? I gotta save myself for someone special, and I want to make a connection with someone.
Can't.
And with that, you see Bonnie kind of nodding, says, "Yes, Viz, I've very much gotten that feeling from you that you were saving yourself for someone special. Unlike other people, some of them take pride in that. Unlike other people, sometimes they wait for the right person. Unlike other people, sometimes they don't just throw themselves around."
No, it's money.
You're not
He
like that.
throws money around. Thank you.
Oh no.
With that, she looks down and says, "I've just seen feet on my tables. Thankfully, he hasn't done that again. At least he has some intelligence there."
So at some point when Bonnie walks away, Biz is gonna mutter real quietly after and be like, "Did she say that's never gonna happen?" Or but he's gonna wait till she walks away. He's gonna say that real quiet because she was like, "That's not gonna happen." Like, does she mean like ever or like?
She meant tonight.
Anyway, we should
I
go.
bet ever with you, Viz.
That
No,
sucks.
she
I should wave Jallister over.
seems like she
Uh,
kind of wants to hit it, man.
Riska's a 19 hit.
Yes, it does. I was putting my feet on my own desk. Risk was not putting his feet on the table.
I thought you were
Risk
in character.
knows better.
No, no. She scares the fuck out of me. But a 19 does hit.
In the hypothetical universe where Risk might have put his feet on the table despite Bonnie, he would have taken 5 bludgeoning damage and been thrown to the floor for doing so
Oh god, so good.
from a slam attack.
I can't even beat fucking Bonnie right now, and I just challenged Dirt into a fight.
Oh god.
Risk, we have more important things right now than sex, man.
No.
You're right.
Speaking of, where's
You're absolutely right.
where's Veronia? I haven't seen her in quite a while.
Who?
Veronia.
The woman we interviewed 4 days ago.
Oh, the one that we didn't hire.
I was like, that name does not sound familiar. Who is that?
Yeah, you got me looking at my notes like, what the fuck?
I mean, we interviewed her the day before the tavern opened up, but you're right. I also have not seen her in 4 days. We've been pretty busy though, so
Kai's like, if Viz isn't having sex tonight, someone
If it's
should.
not happening for Viz, it should happen somewhere.
Oh,
it's definitely happening somewhere. Someone somewhere is boning tonight for sure.
somewhere in the city of water.
Why's Talia raising her hand? What's Talia doing in that bath we don't know about?
She's gonna go break Yagra out tonight.
Yeah. I felt how strong she was. I'm with it.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Someone you can still overpower, but strong.
She can lift me up. I can lift her up. It's a good trade-off.
Jalister, please, buddy, come here.
Check, please. Check, please.
Check.
By check, he means we're gonna need more. Hey, Jalister, hey!
I love and
Come
hate
join
you
us.
guys so much.
We'll kick out a chair at the far end.
Oh my god.
All right. So as Bonnie kind of walks away after this whole thing, you see she never really lost her composure, whereas everyone else apparently did. You yell out across the tavern over towards Jalister. You see him kind of perking his head up and looking around, and as he kind of catches sight, you see that he's not looking super hungover. You know, even though it's early, he's kind of sitting there. You do see that he definitely has a mug of ale in his hand. As he turns around and he kind of waves to you all, and then hears you yelling, and he's like, kind of stands up, talking to the other two, kind of waving them off, and then moves over, kind of standing behind. Roll 20 lag, yeah. Moves over and kind of plops down in the chair, looking over towards you all. He says, well, what is my favorite group of adventurers doing today?
Planning to fight an ancient gold dragon, perhaps.
We're not fighting.
We're not fighting.
Trying not to die.
Not
we're trying not to
fighting.
die. That's what we're doing. We're trying not to
I just wanted to see the look on his face when I said ancient gold dragon.
I don't want to fight it.
I don't either.
Grabs his drink and looks down. More than I thought I did already. Did you say a dragon?
Oh,
An ancient gold dragon.
An ancient dragon?
Yes, yes. You keep it down, please.
Are you stupid?
Quite.
Probably.
And he's gonna point over towards Risk and say he is.
It's true.
I'm afraid to ask.
We're not fighting.
What have you gotten yourselves into?
We say that, but
We're
Well,
not. I don't want to fight a dragon.
our track record is not so great.
what we found was that the previous Open Lord Neverember's hidden hoard of dragons is real, and it's because he was embezzling money from the citizens. We found out where it is and how to get to it, and we wanted to let the Open Lord know that tomorrow, at an undisclosed location, we're going to meet up in the morning, and we're going to go try and get it. I'll hand him my coffee.
I don't want any of that. Takes another big swig. All right, so if I'm getting this right, you know about the embezzled money.
Mhm.
You know its location,
Mm-hmm.
which you not so cleverly glanced over, and you intend to go after it.
Also, it's guarded by an ancient gold dragon.
To return it to the people of Waterdeep.
Right, we want to undo the wrong of the previous Open... Did Jalister work for the previous Open Lord or only the current Open Lord?
Didn't ask.
The previous Open Lord, he...
Yes, Daggle's Neverember.
Daggle, that's his first name. Lord Daggle Neverember stole money from the citizens, and we want to get it back, and we want to undo the wrongs to the city.
You're not
How did you
imagining.
come across... I'm not imagining things. How did you come across this information? You all can tell the subtle tone difference. He lowers his voice. He's glancing around him for people listening. He's switched over, like you've seen him before, into business mode.
That's information that I need to keep to myself.
Remember the fireball outside our building that we talked to you about 2 days ago?
We're not talking about that right now.
The public
Yes.
fireball that we already came and talked to him about, where he helped us talk to the dead bodies? Just kidding. We're not talking about the thing you already helped us with.
Yes, I remember the fireball.
Go ahead, Kai. Tell him how we know the thing.
We're not telling him how we know the thing. We're just
Sorry,
telling him we
Jalster,
have
we're not telling you
information.
how we know the thing.
Very well. Keep your secrets.
Ask us no questions, I tell you no lies.
Good. Sorry, there's like, I can't tell if somebody's running around or nope. That's the that's a big old storm. Okay,
Oh no.
sorry.
Been storming
So with
here all
that,
day.
yeah, it's been off and on today. With that, Jallister kind of nods. Says, very well. And you intend to go after this stolen money belonging to the city by yourselves.
We would prefer not to. By ourselves.
We've got some help.
We want more help?
And if you can offer more assistance, that would be helpful to the citizens of Waterdeep.
Of course, can't forget about that. Who else have you told about this?
The Greyhounds.
Good organization to go to. Tell Vajra herself, one of her agents.
Vajra herself.
I'll be taken care of swiftly then. Very well. To this undisclosed location, when do you intend to venture to it? When will you need help?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
Just send help randomly
Well-
at some point to somewhere that we don't want to tell you.
This is now just trying to do exactly what Kai wants. I can't tell you that. I'm
Tomorrow
sorry.
morning.
I'm not interested.
We are gathering tomorrow morning. We can gather at Troll Skull Manor, and we can give you the information from there.
Very well.
Could you bring like 6 or 7 militia?
Or an army. I mean, whatever it takes,
We're
honestly.
not fighting the dragon.
The
Then he
plan is
looks at
not
you
to
and-
fight the dragon, but it's possible.
I
You
may
see
have
him-
accidentally told all of our enemies.
With that, you see him leaning over the table. He says, you are dealing with a substantial amount of money that has been missing for some time
Yes.
that
Yes, we are.
ultimately caused the ousting of the former Open Lord.
Mhm.
Yes, I will assist you. Will assist me, I suppose, one way or another with this incident, if it is all true, regardless of your source that you cannot speak about. Yes, I will bring some help for you.
If you come by in the morning, I'll make you breakfast. And if you-
Breakfast last time was pretty good, so
It will be at least as good, if not better.
You seem very willing to accept this. Under what terms will you be accepting?
I don't know, honestly.
Then that is need for discussion, don't you think?
Well,
Yes.
out of character, he just said we're helping him. So I think, which I think is just the best thing ever, because like the Open Lord will help get the wealth back to the citizens. So
Now
I
it's
see,
off
that makes perfect
our
sense.
shoulders.
We
And
don't
as
have to
you're
be
saying that
responsible
and
for it. That was out of
saying
character.
about-
That was Steve.
Yeah.
talking.
yes.
As you're saying that, like I said, you're hearing him saying that he's going to be helping you, and then asking about discussing, the terms and such. He says, "I don't know them honestly. I will have to go talk to Laeral herself about this once
I
I
see. So
get orders
she's
from
going. She will be dictating what happens, what is recovered. Then
This regards money belonging to the city she leads. Yes, she will be dictating what happens."
very well. Then perhaps we should speak to her ourselves.
That can be arranged.
When is the soonest that we can speak with her?
I don't know. She is the Open Lord of Waterdeep.
Yes, but
Very
this is
busy
a very
woman.
important bit of information and something that is very vital to the city of Waterdeep. I believe this is quite important to you. I think she could probably make time for us.
I will let her know how you feel about that.
out of character. It's not like we're talking about a handful of gold. We're talking about probably millions of gold pieces that have been embezzled. So
Yeah,
Don't we-
500,000.
500,000. We have the total.
500,000, yeah. So
She's like a god, though. She's got
she
more.
is. She's very.
she's got more-
She's very,
She's
very
got more important things.
but not when it comes to doing something that is going to be very favorable in the eyes of the people of Waterdeep if she assists us. So
Also out of character, I have no idea if she's a good open lord. Like,
Yes.
maybe she's super
Correct.
distant and she's out doing things for, and she just lets her, she doesn't micromanage, she just puts some people in charge. She's like, you guys take care of it. I'm here if you need me.
Yep.
But seriously, if you page me, I'm going to be upset. Like, maybe she's not a good open lord, and maybe it's like, don't make me call the manager. Just let me handle it. I can do this, I swear. And Jallister's looking for a promotion. He's going to be like, look what I got. Look, I fixed all the things.
Politics.
So yeah,
Promote me.
with all of that being said and everything, and him saying that, he looks and says, tomorrow morning, then, at your manor, we will talk, and I will bring some help with this important issue that you've brought to me. Sviz?
Have you seen Raynar recently?
What's that?
Any thanks? Not in the last day or so, no. Not here in the tavern, at least.
We wanted to talk to him about it too, to see if he wanted to help right his father's wrong.
what about Volo? Is he anywhere around?
He happens to be upstairs on the 13th door on the left.
With that, Jallister thinks for a moment, says, I am friends with Raynar. I think I can speak in confidence that he would not be interested in anything doing to deal with his father. Especially not something like this.
Not righting the wrong of his father.
Seems like that's
He
the
would-
ultimate fuck you to the dad you don't like. Like, really, Dad?
Would
You're gonna be a
prefer-
monster and try and ruin my life and so many other people's? Well, fuck you. I'm gonna make it better. Like, what a better way to stick it to your old man than to undo all the evil things he did.
He may see it that way. I've always interpreted him wanting distance from his father, however.
Yeah, maybe. If you talk to him, that'd be super appreciative if you see him before we do.
Just send
Then he
him
nods,
another
says, if I do see him, I will inquire about this, but you have to realize that the Lord's Alliance is involved in this now. This is now a Waterdeep issue. Some adventurers, as much as I do like all of you, not just a conspiracy, not just guilds and Zentarum fighting each other. This is important. This is something that has affected many people and has caused great power to shift hands. It should not be taken lightly.
and is something that will greatly benefit the people of this city. Which is
Hey,
why
Kai.
we are trying
Indeed.
to include you. Yes.
Do you remember that thing that our neighbor told us? Information we learned this morning. Some of the stuff Vincent told us. Can I say some of that to Jallister?
That was last night, by the way.
That was last
I
night,
thought,
yeah.
I thought it was this morning on our way down south.
It was before we got home. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was.
I thought
We
last
spent the
night.
at the
Last night we spent in the thing, so I thought we went home in the morning. Whatever. It's whatever.
But yeah, Kai will just kind of nod.
Oh,
in your direction.
So, Jallister, the Xanathar Guild want us dead. Like, by any means necessary.
That
just
seemed rather apparent.
Well, we thought it was like maybe not us specifically, but apparently it's definitely targeted to us 5.
You have been thorn in their side from what I've been able to observe and what I've been able to hear from my reports. And from my reports, I've also learned of a certain item that was being sought out by multiple different factions, but not excluding the Xanathar Guild. If a party or an organization or anything was to be able to acquire said item, they would be sought out quite feverishly, I think, by those seeking it out, especially someone as pointed as the Xanathar Guild.
What kind of item?
An item of import, at least to some.
Well,
Interesting.
we will see you bright and early with some breakfast at our place. And I hope you have a great night and you get lots of rest, because tomorrow's just going to be an amazing day for the city of Waterdeep. Also, we might get ambushed by the Xanathar Guild.
Sunrise. We will see you at sunrise.
With that, Jouster nods and with that, Jouster nods and kind of looks and scans through all of your faces, kind of locking eyes with each of you and nods. Should be interesting. See you bright and early then. With that, you see him standing up. Everybody give me perception checks.
Oh, not on the stream chat. That would not be the place to do it.
I have tried that multiple times.
It's like, why isn't it clicking?
As
I don't
Jouster
think
stands
I've had
up,
one good roll.
I know, you've rolled
it's been kind of rough.
totally denied, so...
Jot, Kai, and Viz, you notice this. As Jouster stands up after nodding to you all, he turns and he starts walking out the door. You see he leaves, exiting out of the tavern, probably to go report this to his superiors. Your eyes go down to look around each other, and then you all, three of you, almost simultaneously notice that Jallister's drink is sitting almost full on your table. He did not finish his drink before leaving.
Risk is going to finish his drink.
Tastes amazing. It's expensive stuff.
Oh, fantastic.
I feel like we kind of pissed Jallister off, guys.
Jallister is going to make the decisions for us, whether we want him to or not.
I trust him. We literally talked to him about the stone 2 days ago. We asked him if he knew anything about the stone. We specifically called it out to him. I had no idea that you were like, don't talk about the stone to the people we've already talked to the stone about. I didn't realize that was the thing. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to ruin that. If he betrays us and he's the reason the Xanathar Guild show up and kill us, I'm going to feel even more terrible when I'm dead. Also, I don't want to die.
It's not that we don't want him to know that we know of the stone, it's that we don't want him to know that we have the stone. More
I think
people
he
that
kind of has figured out we've got it, though. Probably. Well, we'll see. He's still gonna help us, or just
Yes.
take over, but, you know.
I think at this point, if the Open Lord is going to consider the negotiations of what we're going to get, because we're not going to apparently get a say in what happens there.
Well, it's not really even. It's not like it's our money. I mean,
It
it
is
was like
not,
stolen
but-
money. So, I mean,
What do you want to get from the money?
I want enough to pay off our debt. That is literally all I want. I want to end the debt that we have with the Zentarum and sever all ties.
That's half of a single percent. I feel like we should be able to get at least 2,600 gold.
I'm hoping that is the case, but Risk,
I think-
as much as I know you would like to be in line with them, I'm just not comfortable with that situation given everything that has transpired.
I agree with you 100%, Kai. If we can get enough to pay off our debt, that would be amazing. And hopefully we can discuss that with him. But I think we should ask for it as a secondary thought. I think the Lord Openhand would be more grateful to know we're doing it for the good. And then if we have a successful mission and we don't die, and we'd be like, hey, could we have 2,700 gold pieces, please? Maybe she'll say yes.
I completely agree, and I believe that the money should be brought back to the people, but we need to ensure that our time is not going to be wasted in this situation, and the other factions that are assisting us are going to wish the same.
I think we're only getting help from the 2 factions, right? I think we're done for the night.
And we need to speak to Haldar.
Morning.
Haldar.
Oh, right.
That's
Haldar.
vital to the success of what we're doing.
Otherwise, you have to get really drunk.
It needs to be a full elf.
It needs to be a full elf.
Got it.
We must find Haldar now.
I mean, it doesn't have to be specifically Haldar. We could just. But
I like
he'd be
Haldar.
the best option.
I would rather bring somebody that we can trust, and who better to trust than somebody who has covered up potential murder from us in the past.
Okay.
Wouldn't really
So-
murder personally, but
Self-defense, but yes. All the same.
as an expert on
Literally all the same. It's all the same in the eyes of the watch.
It's the most recent expert
So,
on murder.
can we close out our tab and go to Mule Skull Tavern?
Okay. For breakfast for everybody and some drinks and such, you'll owe a silver piece.
I'll cover
I got
that.
I said it first. It's mine.
I'll leave a tip.
You'll
All right.
okay. You cover the bill, then, and I'll leave the tip because I don't trust you to tip Bonnie appropriately.
But
Deal.
just the tip.
100% is not enough.
I left 2 silver on the table.
Ooh.
I took 5 silver and I made a little heart with them on the table. Honor because Mule Skull Tavern so far. Do we happen to pass any magic item shops? Specifically ones that would sell magic bags.
Like a fancy bag that can hold 500 pounds worth of stuff in it.
I'm not specific on limits, but just
Very
any more
specific.
than I currently hold. Viz is
Well-
going to kind of go through his stuff, and he's going to pull out the left arm of a dwarf that's a crossbow. He's going to pull out the short sword that he has from Erstal Floxen. He's going to pull out the light crossbow from some of the Zentarum that he took. He's going to pull out his 3 or 4 outfits that he has. I'm carrying a lot of things, and I would like to have some sort of...
I love that you just carry the arm crossbow just with you all the time.
It's yesterday.
Get raccoon.
True.
It's
It
2
was
days ago, I
literally
guess.
yesterday.
What did you do with the gun?
I also have this weird cylinder with the handle.
Oh yeah, I don't know that it's a gun. True. Yeah. The
All right.
poison
So-
acids explodey thing. Yeah.
If you leave, because you're down at the yawning portal.
I'm sure there's a lot of really good.
We
we
have to go all the way down to the southern part of the dock ward.
Yeah, so yeah, like down like here-ish or in this area is where Mule Skull Tavern is. Somewhere around there.
I thought it was
Can
closer
I-
to the docks.
Can I find a shop that's selling a bag of holding, and how much is it?
You'd have to move over to the trades ward. You're not going to find one in the dock ward.
Then never mind. Let's go see if we
Uh,
can find Heldar first.
Sorry. It's right there. That's where it is.
Okay.
Right there on the corner.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We can check on our way back. It's still...
Yeah. That's it. It's still really early. It's not even noon yet.
It's mid morning
So-
still.
All right.
Can I would like to take the stone, hand it to Risk, and have him walk just in front of me. And I want to watch I want to see if what I'm reading off the stone is correct and see if I get further away from it, what happens.
All right. So Risk, you're taking the stone? Okay. So you hand the stone to Risk. Risk, you feel this tingling sensation that you recognize as magic radiating from it, but don't feel any voices or anything. As you start to walk forward with Kai kind of motioning for you to do so, you move out into the street here and start walking forward and kind of glancing back and turn around and start walking backwards. As you get about 10 feet away from Kai, you see him flinch and you see his eyes just glaze over with just turning white.
Stop.
Kai, you cannot
Stop.
see.
Stop. Come back.
Risk has already stopped and started walking back towards Sky.
As you get closer to him within 10 feet, you see as that film that was kind of covering his eyes disappears, and you see him blinking furiously as sight returns to him.
That was what I was afraid of.
Risk doesn't say
Okay,
a word.
Kai, I feel like maybe you should have told us about this.
About what?
He just said, that's what I was afraid of, and didn't you notice his eyes just went all filmy white?
I didn't see anything.
Could you see, Kai?
What are you talking about?
Sick.
Risk is gonna handle back the stone.
Keep going to Troll School.
You're inviting a contesting check there a little bit.
Oh,
If
I'm not
anybody
gonna.
wants.
I'm not gonna insight check my friends.
I
Alright.
want to totally inside check it.
Go for
I'm
it.
gonna roll badly for the first time.
Well, did anyone else notice it?
No, shit, super shit.
Oh,
I
no.
was super zoned out. Yep.
I mean, anybody with a higher passive perception of like 10 noticed his eyes just glazed over.
Then I
Right.
noticed
Just
your
white
eyes
like
glazed
film.
over. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's not like when somebody dies, their eyes glaze over, like a white film
Just-
across
Okay.
his eyes, turning
Solid.
his like
Okay.
irises,
Super
everything
obvious.
white. Yeah.
Okay.
You could not see his pupils any longer.
We'll talk about it later.
Yes, we will.
I'm not in the middle of the street.
I needed to know. I needed to know if that was what was going to occur.
All right. So with that, the group heads down towards Mule Skull Tavern. Been a little bit since you've been here. A few, almost a 10-day or so since the last time you visited this place. Last time you were here was just after just before an assassination attempt was carried out on a acquaintance, maybe a friend, depending on who you're talking to. Viz definitely friendly, with Heldar, this elf that you met in here. As you walk in, you see the layout of the place hasn't changed. It's very empty.
Oh my
you
god,
see
guys.
There's one person in there, and it's the bartender.
Steve just reviewed his notes. So we talked to him about the elf murders. He doesn't seem to know a lot. Heldar is a regularly drunk half-elf that comes to Mule Skull.
Shit.
We can't use help.
God
Well,
damn
let's
it.
go ahead and leave the tavern, Troll Skull.
Just gotta
Nice
find
to
a
see you.
random
Grab
elf.
the next closest
Just-
full
just
elf
get
that we
an
could
elf
get at the
guy.
bar.
It's just the
Um,
bartender in there.
Who,
It's just Richard
who-
Charleston.
Who do we know that's an elf? We've got to know an elf. There's got to be some fucking elves in this place.
When we contact
Everybody roll me D100s.
Okay.
when we contact the gray hand lady,
Oh yeah, I can just ask her to send along someone that's an
yeah,
elf.
just tell her we need an elf to
We
join
just
us.
need a drunken elf. That's all.
Well, I mean, we own a
Drunk.
bar.
We
We
own
can
a
get him
bar.
drunk.
We can get him drunk. Yeah. Absolutely can get him drunk.
We'll provide the drunk. You give us the elf.
Or maybe one of Galister's guys will be elves. If not, it's going to look real awkward when we have two of the three keys and we're like,
the keys are like,
well,
um.
Steve didn't appropriately check his notes and Heldar was a half-elf. And half-elves don't count anymore.
Oh no. I can just ask Vajra to send it, right? I don't know.
That sounds incredibly slavery-like. Could you send an elf, please?
Send us the elf boy.
It also
Send
seems
us
pretty
the
shady to just drag some random elf and be like, "Hey, do you want to go do something really stupid?"
By the
and
way, do you want to
dangerous?"
potentially die and join us?
We're doing
in
this to a child robot and
uh,
some random elf that we don't know.
I'm looking through all my
Baddies,
notes.
guys. I think we might be the baddies.
We'll find a homeless one, offer him free
Oh, no,
booze.
that's even...
Lif was an elf.
Oh, there's a
Well,
ghost kid.
But I don't think we.
No,
can-
he's stuck at the house, isn't he?
Yeah.
Down there, yeah.
Have we met any full
We've
elves?
not met any elves.
Is there like
Well, there's
a
a dragon.
billboard where you can go and be like, in search of full elf,
In
searching for
search-
soulmate. I will
I'll
be
put-
your
Listen, Rissa's going to the soft trade tonight.
This is a waste of time. Perhaps we should head back.
You pay him by the hour, right? So you know it doesn't matter what the activity is, right?
Right, right.
Yeah.
That's how that
seems
works.
Even worse.
As you're all heading back out of Mule Skull Tavern, those of you thinking back and remembering that Heldar was of half-elf heritage, much like Kai is, but a little bit different. Not really a high elf. He's actually a wood elf, if I remember correctly, half wood elf. You see Kai slowing in his steps, kind of stopping a bit and then resuming as he walks up next to you.
Perhaps we can grab him anyways.
2 half elves drunk.
It appears that Golorr is going to, or has enough information provided to me that a half-elf very well may work in this situation. But they may just need to be very, very inebriated to do so.
Okay. Well, let's turn around and go back. the,
Turn around. He wasn't in there.
He wasn't.
Cassie,
no, but we can ask Richard Charleston.
You do also have a half elf in your party.
Yeah, well, but we
We're
would just
not
then have to
talking
get him.
about that.
What are the negative effects of getting super wasted?
Yeah,
Okay,
I
like
mean, you've got
Kai's-
disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks.
I don't know. I don't know if there's
Way
an
more
official
fun at
system.
parties, though.
Mechanically speaking, you would have to get to the point to be poisoned by alcohol.
Oh, jeez.
and
Sick.
yeah.
Okay, so if we go back into Mule Skull,
I mean, it's
Richard
up to
Charleston.
you. Like, do you want to do that, Kai? I don't know.
No.
I
there
wanna
a
see Kai
potion
drunk
that's, like,
so
instant
bad.
sober?
I kind of
in
do
this-
want to make Forge RP Kai as just wasted.
Fuck, that's gonna be super
don't
easy because
think you
Kai's just
I
gonna
guys
start.
really
kind of want
want
to do
that.
that.
Kai's just gonna start downing shots. IRL.
God, we had him drunk yesterday. Fuck!
I really.
Wait,
kinda
is there a
want to.
potion that's like instant sober, like everything in your stomach you throw up and you're instantly sober? And
Is there a potion of greater restoration?
Sure, there is
Maybe.
somewhere. We can't afford it though.
I'm sure.
Actually, lesser restoration, I think, does cure drunkenness.
It cures poison.
Conveniently, Kai can cast Lesser Restoration on himself.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Done.
unless he's too drunk and kills himself.
Unless the spell misfires and he accidentally, like, destroys, like, his livelihood in the process.
I meant
It's
to
fine.
use lesser restoration, but I accidentally cast Touch of Death.
Yes.
Oops!
So
Let's see.
Oopsies.
Richard Charleston, human, right? According to my notes.
Sure.
Okay. He's the bartender we see inside the Mule Skull Tavern.
Yes, yeah, human commoner Richard Charleston.
Hey, Richard, it's us. Remember us from last week?
With that, he kind of looks at me and says, "Oh, yep, didn't see you there with all the
Coming in and out of the door.
Non-tattoos
customers."
all
Yeah, you see him looking around, saying all the customers, and like I said, this place is empty. There is nobody in there except him. Yeah, little slow during the day, unfortunately. What can I help you with?
Do you think Heldar is going to be around this evening?
Maybe. I guess you haven't been around recently since that incident where he took care of that assassin.
Yeah,
help.
6 days ago.
Did he
Yes.
find Lathander and stop drinking?
Didn't find Lathander, but he did stop drinking, actually. He still does come in. He does still come in, but orders nothing but coffee and water. He still pays quite well, I guess. But after the became a bit famous here in the dock ward for taking care of that assassin, as we all know he did, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did do that.
He's
so
amazing.
he decided to turn himself around a bit, not get drunk as much, and eventually just swore off drinking completely, it seems.
Do you happen to know where he lives, or might be at this moment?
I didn't see him last night. He may be back on his ship, I'm not sure. He's a sailor, as you know.
Oh, the Elwick. You're right. Do you know where if Captain Marwick is about? Who is the captain of the Elwick?
Don't see him here currently, unfortunately.
Okay, well, we thank you for your time. I'm gonna leave
Of course.
3 silver
Would
pieces
you like
for
a
Richard
drink?
Charleston.
Yes,
no,
please.
we're
Yes,
some
hunting.
water?
Nope,
Yes, please.
nope, hunting for Eldar.
Paying a silver piece for a drink, whatever this buys.
I
Gets
think
excited,
He
turns
doesn't
around and
have
pours
to
a
go,
drink.
Cups. We need to go.
I'll give you
Pours
a
a couple
gold if I can
drinks.
take the cup with me.
I think, guys, I think we should just
Holds out 2 drinks. Take them.
have Kai
It's
be the one that
yours.
gets drunk. Like, I think we just do that, and I think we're set.
Eldar wants to be a hero. Let's give him the chance to be the hero in our story.
But he's sworn off drinking. We wouldn't want to make him relapse. Like,
What? One night of drinking is not relapsing. Just because we're enabling him for one night does not mean we're bad people.
It's because we're enabling.
Jesus Christ! Yes, it does.
We don't.
Yes.
We don't.
we
we
are
don't
the
need.
baddies.
We don't need him to be a drunk. We just need him to be drunk. One time.
We are
Not
we
just
are
is his-
spiking the punch at an AA meeting. That's
This
what
is
we're.
his chance. This is his chance to be the hero he wants to be.
And Viz has never broke any laws.
We need this. He needs this.
I just feel like it would be really funny to see Kai really drunk, though.
I agree. But you know what else will be really funny? Not dying.
I think he can.
Have
make
you
him
tried
a
it?
lot Drunk though, maybe.
Sometimes Kai helps me heal you guys. And I really like it when Kai helps me.
all
And
I
Kai's
need
really
to-
drunk and passes
okay,
out.
Wait. All I need to do is be drunk to get past the gate. It doesn't tell us anything more. I mean, there could be a corridor that lays ahead, and I'll have plenty of time to stop and fix all of this madness that we are considering.
What the fuck are we doing?
We don't know.
Do we know God?
That's not something I want to see typing in chat.
Stop it.
So
Stop
I
it.
have a
Stop it.
lesser restoration spell that cures poison. Does that cure poisoned by drunk?
Yeah, any poison.
Yeah, poison. Any
Okay,
kind of
they
poison.
both got it.
Yeah.
We've
And
done
I
it.
I can cast lesser restoration,
Yeah,
so it's
they
not
both
a
got it.
So,
problem.
yeah,
but
so can I. But I also feel like having someone else help is a great idea.
I just really want to see Kai get drunk, and I just think it'll be
Wait.
really funny.
Talia,
Oh,
You're elven,
do
aren't
Tritons
you?
count as elves?
She's not an elf.
No.
No, she's not a sea elf, right? They're not. Are they? They aren't, right?
Tritons are their own race.
Yeah, they're the separate.
Oh, okay, you're not sea elf.
You
I thought
insult
you were a sea elf.
me.
Oh, insult you. The okay, yeah. Let's not talk
Inbred.
about the lowly water breathers.
We've gone so off the rails since our
Okay.
break.
We were at such a good pace too.
We're doing so good.
And then I try to get Viz laid and everything fucking.
It just went sideways. From
You
there. It's
did
fine.
this.
You
It's
did
your
it.
fault.
Why'd you add dicks to it, CK? Everything was fine until you added dicks in the mix.
This is the last time I
Story of
ever
my
play
life.
Wingman.
Wingman is someone who's helping someone who's actively trying to get laid. Vince is trying to figure himself out, and you're like, dude, you should totally not be a virgin. He's like, oh god, no.
Risk is the embodiment of peer pressure.
I'm chaotic.
The embodiment
Chaotic,
of peer
chaotic.
pressure.
All right. So you guys want to go to a magic shop?
Yes,
do it.
we want to go to
You,
a magic shop. We absolutely do.
Alrighty then. Yeah, I wasn't ready for this. Give me a second.
I mean, we don't really need to RP it. You
I
can
mean,
just tell
we
me the
did-
shop and how much it costs, and then I'm going to try and haggle them down anyway.
To be fair, we did warn you that we were going to look for a bag of holding.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry, guys. I thought Heldar was an elf,
No,
and that's why.
No, it's fine.
That's
I
why the
didn't-
drow
I-
attacked him. And then
Y'all
as
don't
I was
realize,
looking at
I
my
went back to my notes, I looked over that, and I was like, shit, he is a half-elf. I'm like, surely nobody took good enough notes to know that he was a half-elf.
Alas,
I was gonna let it slide. I had a backup plan, but I was gonna let
Just
it
let it
like, just
happen,
nobody's
it's
gonna
fine.
know. I was gonna let it happen, and then here comes Steve.
I don't know if I wrote it. Let's see. I'm gonna find out if I wrote it down or not.
His ship's name is the Elwick, and the Captain Marwick. I fucking
am
know that
curious.
information.
Oh, I didn't have.
I want this
anything
to
on
be
him,
useful.
So. No, it's fine. I don't have anything.
He was a
I did write down that he was a half elf. I just
to
never
beat
checked
out
it
the
because
drow.
I just foolishly trusted Steve.
The problem is, in my mind, I thought the drow only attacked elves.
They said he was attacking elves and half elves. I do remember that.
Totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I forgot that.
Yeah.
I
But
looked
yeah,
through
I
all
had
my
actually
notes.
also written down that he was a half elf.
Any of the guild leaders that have helped us for the Troll Skull Manor, none of them are elves. There's a halfling and humans. The people who died, one of them was a half elf. Like, I have all these names and races lit down. I don't see elf anywhere, except for the
Okay.
Zentarum guy.
Devil.
Yeah,
Devil.
Devil is an elf. Sun elf, right?
Yes.
Which means he has golden hair and is beautiful.
Just
God.
gorgeous man. Mhm.
Absolutely.
But we have found out that he is not Jot's type. This is now canon. We've had the conversation.
Can you imagine how much alcohol would be a 15-foot cube?
Know that you've had that. She said that she did take
A 15-foot cube.
woman.
Yeah, if we were going to use the dust of dryness on a 15-foot cube of alcohol.
Oh my god, we would just... You'd die!
You would die.
It's okay, a lesser restoration fixes it.
It doesn't fix
I
death!
don't think it fixes death.
Hey, if you become unconscious, do you stop being poisoned? So really, I just need to cure wounds.
No,
Don't even need
you
to-
resume poisoned. You resume.
All right, I
Alright.
can't pull up my freaking list that I had before. So, you go to a magic shop that'll remain unnamed for right now. You do see that there are a couple bag of holdings inside this place, and they cost. Shit, gotta pull up my other notes.
Between 101 and 500 gold.
Whatever it costs, I would like it for less.
They tell you this particular gentleman is selling
Also what-
them for 400 gold pieces.
What's his race?
He is a gnome.
Dick.
Oh, hey, buddy.
Could I 400 gold pieces?
Yes, it
Oh,
is
God.
400
Damn it.
gold pieces, please.
Please tell me he's not a rock gnome, because no, this man is a disgrace to me.
I'm not a rock gnome. I don't even know what the races of the gnomes are.
It's a fire gnome.
That's not a thing.
They're called dwarves.
The fuck are the races? I don't know the subtypes
Hang
of
on,
gnomes.
I'm sorry, I should remember this. It's
You are one.
Snurf Nevlin.
Deep
gnome, forest gnome.
or deep
Rock
gnome?
gnome. Snurf Nevlin.
Yeah, blood.
That's a deep gnome. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna turn around and look at all my friends and be like, I have 9 platinum. I cannot afford this.
Maybe you shouldn't buy it.
Sir, would you instead accept 9 platinum, 28 gold pieces, 12 silver, and 2 copper?
offer friendship. I have a friend that says that works all the time.
I get
Also-
that reference.
Also a hug.
Make a persuasion check at disadvantage for how ridiculous that offer is.
It's literally all he has.
400. Here's 118.
No.
Okay, thank you for your patronage.
400.
Okay, have a
Yes.
great day. Bye.
Bye.
Wait. We could contribute to this.
I have 90 gold.
Kai will hand you 60 gold.
I will hand you 8 platinum.
Okay. We have some money in
Hold on.
like funds that we were hanging on to for.
Hold on. Talia?
I'm a hoarder.
Or
I
debt.
have 231 gold pieces. I was like, what's the fourth one down? And he's like, gold.
Like the gold colored one? She's like, yeah.
I mean,
Gold.
this feels like something we could, just pull from the treasury for, and hope that we make it back tomorrow.
Good sir.
Yes.
Mr. Gnome, sir, you haven't given us your name.
No.
We have collectively come up with 312 gold pieces. Would you accept that? Please?
No.
Would you like me to kill him?
God.
What if I threw in this? And I'm going to pull out the left hand of the dwarf that's a crossbow.
Look at how cool that is. Very cool, man.
Look at this contraption. Look at this mechanism.
Also, I can toss it. Hold it.
Let me look at that.
I hand it over.
How much gold?
I forgot what I said. 320 gold. Sorry. And that magnificent crossbow arm.
You see him like taking the crossbow arm and sets it down on the back table behind him. Holds out his hand. 300 gold. We have a deal.
Okay. So I will contribute 90. I will contribute 108 gold pieces to that.
Kai's handed you 60, so.
I have 168.
I'll throw in the 32.
Yeah.
That.
I need 120
Oh.
left.
Oh. Then I'll also give you 5 platinum.
It's 50 more gold.
Okay.
I guess I can give you 50.
I need 100 gold pieces.
I thought you just said 50.
No, he
Jackass.
He gave me 50. I need 150 left.
I can give
Fine.
you
I'll give you
5
150.
flat. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I hand him 300 and... Well, it's a combination of platinum and gold. Hand over the
300.
money.
Yes. Thank you.
This accent, God damn it.
Havoc,
Holds
I
out the
also... I have 69 gold worth of stuff that we found underneath the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Like, this is
those
separate
art
transaction.
pieces and-
Because like I gathered what I could when we were under the ocean, like not what we split up with Grinda.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Hey.
He offers you 80 gold for it.
Deal.
Yes, I take all this stuff.
So he can add... The gnome can add to his inventory the left hand of Nazca Grey.
Oh, it's mine now. Thanks.
Yeah, he can add that to his inventory. Okay, does anyone else want to do anything?
We did have that other the other half that we as a group got from Grinda that we never sold.
But we want to try and... Oh, from Grinda?
From when we from
Treasury
the
stuff?
treasure stuff that we got from in the bay. We
Yeah,
never
y'all brought a
addressed
horde back. Yeah, y'all brought a
Oh,
horde
yeah.
back and got half of it. Horde.
That
You brought back
was-
a bunch of treasure.
Have I, for the first time in the history of this game, taken better notes than everyone else?
No, I have it. So we get 120 gold worth of art items is what we got as a group, and then you had found 60 gold separately.
So we have those items, but they're not in my inventory, so I don't have them.
It wasn't like specific stuff, it was just like a...
Can we
General.
color up? Havoc?
Do what now?
Color up, like, can we exchange our art for the equivalent
Oh,
value
okay.
of gold pieces?
I haven't heard that expression before.
I
Sorry.
haven't either.
It's a poker term. When you color up your chips, you're like, oh, I've got a bunch of these ones. I'd like one of those.
No,
Bad at poker, so.
heard that.
Yeah, give me an art persuasion check. At disadvantage, because you've already
Can it-
pissed him off.
What?
Well, can we, since like I'm already offered up the stuff, can we go off of my persuasion check?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh,
Go,
come on!
Jesus. Oh, wait, you wanted Risk to make it or me?
Hey, Risk was the one asking, so
Oh, thank God.
you're welcome.
2 ones in a row.
Way better. Way better.
Yeah, we'll use that. All right, how much was it? 120?
Yep.
120.
All right, he offers you with a 10, 122 for it.
Sure, whatever. That's
Yeah.
fine. Okay.
So you're taking various bags. Yes, thank you.
We made a
Yeah,
profit.
take your gold.
It'll be-
So...
Anything else?
Do we want to just throw that 122 into the group funds?
Or, well, I was gonna say, just whoever contributed, take, like, portions of that.
No,
Or whatever.
I just made back what I gave.
I don't need
Uh,
any. It's fine.
Let's just throw it into the group fund.
Okay.
It can go towards our house.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what the group fund is. Yeah, I can add it to that.
Should
Do you sell incense by any chance, sir?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Do you
for your
know
time.
anyone who might?
Rilatar sells some.
No. I have magic items and stuff now.
What kind of magic items do you have?
Oh, I have lots of lovely items.
I just want to hear
I
this
have-
guy talk.
Let's see. I have this fancy armor over here. Yes. I have this blade. It's called a Holy Avenger. Yes.
Oh, shit, he's got a
I
whole
have
fuck out.
this bow called Oath Bow. Yes, Oath Bow.
Can I
yes.
insight check? I don't believe this at all.
Yeah,
I
sure.
don't
Inside
believe
check.
anything he's saying. Maybe I believe.
You see
I
him
would-
holding up very fancy weaponry. This
Oh, wow,
armor
he's
is
actually got
encrusted
that shit.
in like amazing craftsmanship, radiating magic.
I would like to put a pin in this location
Yeah,
on the map, and
I'd
I'd like to come back
make
here in the
note of
future.
this place.
It was like tomorrow afternoon, perhaps.
Maybe a few days from now.
Maybe I'll be back. I have to talk to my brother, Bingo. Yes.
Was his name
Oh,
up?
fuck you. Oh, no.
I'm guessing this is a
Bingo?
reference to something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Inside jokes are awesome. I hope you be a part of one someday.
Havoc, what kind of sword was the Holy Avenger?
They're long swords.
Longsword.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, thank you.
Poor shrimpy arms can't use the long sword.
Is there an
2
apothecary?
million gold for it. That's
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. Mhm, mhm.
Is there an apothecary anywhere close by?
sure.
Sure.
Why not?
You can find
I,
you can find
all I'm-
anything in the trades ward.
Isn't our neighbor an apothecary?
all I am looking for is perhaps like a pouch of bone dust. That's all I need. That's what I'm going there for.
Sure.
Outside of that, apothecary may have incense. Possibly.
Yeah, that would seem like a good place to go for incense. Yeah, you can find an apothecary that has both these things.
Okay. Wowee.
Is that IRL thunder?
That's
Or is that-
IRL thunder.
I
Holy
just shook both my
Oh,
windows.
I thought that was
fun.
through the soundscape. Whoa.
No.
We're like, what the fuck kind of shop did we just walk into?
As
my
you,
God.
this is a bad idea. Hold
Suddenly
on,
the
we're
party
leaving.
is smote by lightning.
Did we walk into the
Yes.
rainforest apothecary?
You
Apothecary.
notice this is nothing like the apothecary that is in Troll Skull Alley. No, this one is dark and decrepit. You see plants, all of them decrepit with age and wilting and such, blackened by unearthly forces. Thunder peals off in the distance, even though storms shouldn't be here yet because it's not afternoon. No.
I feel like we should leave,
But yeah.
guys. This is a mistake.
Yeah, we should
This
go.
is bad. This is really bad. We gotta go.
Run!
All right, so small thing of bone dust and incense. How much for incense, or either, or both?
If the component doesn't require a gold amount, bone dust will cost a silver piece. Like lavender incense will cost 2 silver pieces.
Oh, they have incense here.
Nice. Yes, that's why I was asking.
Once you get past the thunder and lightning and spookiness, yes, they have incense.
Can I buy some incense, please?
I will-
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
Like about 10 gold worth. No, yeah, 10 gold worth of incense.
I'll buy.
Do you want the good stuff or the regular stuff?
I don't think it matters as long as it's 10 gold worth.
No idea.
Yeah, I'll just
Whatever's
buy-
required for fine familiar. DM.
I'll just buy like a few silver, like 6 silver worth or 4 silver. I'll buy 4 silver worth of just random incense. Doesn't matter what
Okay.
it is, because it doesn't have a cost to it.
Okay. Yeah, you get like 4 little pouches of
Cool.
bone dust then. The incense for that, you can either get a pound of incense for 10 gold of the cheaper stuff, or you can get for 10 gold, you can get 5 sticks of it for 10 gold of some of the more expensive stuff.
Okay, I don't know. It just says 10 gold worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs that must be consumed by fire in a brass brazier.
Yeah, so basically, like, one of these things would be like 3 or 4 gold, and then you could combine the other components to make 10 gold pieces worth.
Okay.
Total of all 3 of those components need to be 10 gold.
Okay. Do they have all 3 components here?
Incense, herbs, and charcoal, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Then I
with,
would
yeah, you could buy 10 gold pieces total of all of those items.
Cool. That's what I would like to do then.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I think
Yes, have a good day.
I think it would be good if we went back to the manor and we just spent the rest of the day kind of doing some downtime stuff and just kind of preparing ourselves for the morning.
Yep.
Because we need to be stopping soon. Cassie just told me her hip's hurting.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
I
staying.
mean, we're
Alright.
already a little over, so.
Are you okay with that, Havoc? Is that
Yeah,
Some
no, this is
weird-
where I planned on stopping. So, all right. So after doing some shopping, it's afternoon at this point, just afternoon. You head back to Troskull Manor. Find that Nim is still present. He has not abandoned the place, thanks to Lift's persuasion check earlier. Because that was a possibility. Nim could have
Oh
left.
god, yeah. I was
So-
worried about that.
Thank your ghost butler. You make your way back inside. Once again, it's closing on like 1 in the afternoon or so. You're able to sit down and chat and focus on some studies and such as the day continues on. You know that tomorrow morning you have various factions that are either meeting you here at the manor or waiting for you at the Pink Flump Theater, where you have been told by the Stone of Golorr is going to lead you to the Vault of Dragons. For the sake of downtime, you will have 8 hours that you can spend on various things before you need to take a long rest so you can wake up bright and early in the morning.
So,
Yeah,
8
there's-
hours before the long rest?
Before the long rest,
Ooh.
correct.
Fancy.
Y'all are spending the day here, is from what I'm understanding. Y'all have nothing else you want to take
we're
care of.
planning first thing in the
Well,
morning. At
Biz
sunrise.
needs to go over to the bookkeeper and get books.
Okay.
Stuff
Yeah.
that we can do like during
Just
the week or
stuff
whatever.
stuff to help him work for his downtime activities.
If
Okay.
that's
Yeah, you could spend 30 minutes doing that or something. So just
if
rack that up.
that's the case, then I'll finish my research in learning Draconic for that
Okay.
duration. Because I need 6 to finish it. So
Yeah, like I said, you'll have basically doing whatever you want from 1 until 9 o'clock or so, and then turning in for the night to get ready and taking a long rest before you wake up. So anything you want to go get done, if you're going out anywhere, just go ahead and take off 30 minutes. If you're staying in Troll Skull Alley, if you're venturing out any further, if you stay within the north end, detract an hour. If you go anywhere to the southern end of Waterdeep, detract 2 hours. Upon the point of getting all your stuff done and spending any downtime doing anything you would like to do, you are going to get a long rest as you rest for the evening before the events of tomorrow, which are going to transpire next session, as that is where we're ending for the evening. But upon your long rest, everybody is going to level up to level 5.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
congratulations.
So excited.
Level 5 characters, various factions involved in this, and you're heading for the Vault of Dragons.
Dun
we
dun
are.
dun.
Okay, I'm gonna end stream then. Say bye.
Stream.
Bye, stream.
All right, so let's go